you.
I assume it's related to a pecker slap.
Close cousin to the donkey punch.
Are we good to go here?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the room.
Cool.
Sorry, Twitch.
What? I think you could say donkey punch.
It's just an animal and a...
We didn't say we were
D&D
donkey
attack.
punching like Jews or something.
You did now.
Well, sorry, Joy.
No, hypothetical.
That
I'm
was
not
hypothetical,
telling
it
anybody to
doesn't
go.
count.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're quoting someone or hypothetically saying it, it's...
Or did I?
Alright, we're starting. Here we go.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody, to another game of Skyfall 5e. I'm sorry if I'm slow today. I've been very, very sleepy. But I am looking forward to getting back.
Oh,
into
You
it.
shaved your
Look at that
head!
haircut, kid.
Oh, yeah.
Where's your hair?
I woke up one morning and I rolled over and I squinted and there was this horrible pain because a tuft of hair had like gotten into my eye. And it was like the 10th time that it happened, and I just said, fuck it, and I got in the car and just shaved it all off, and I've been happy ever since, so...
Fresh.
Beautiful.
Why would you shave your head in your car? There's probably hair everywhere now.
Jimmy, stop sassing. You're gonna die.
You're hurting my delicate feelings.
He is a beautiful, delicate flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, last session you guys did a little bit of travel. You made it into the valley there, between the mountains, and after getting up towards where Black River was supposed to be, you stumbled upon his camp, had a brief talk with him, which went kind of sideways, and ended up stealing some things from him, and he stole some stuff from you, and now you guys are wandering down the side of the mountain, and he is nowhere to be seen. So with that, I hand the game over to you guys.
Didn't somebody see him with
I
seeing
have seen
visibility?
visibility. Yeah.
We did, and then,
And then he disappeared again.
He said we have to sleep sometime, and then you're like, no, we have an elf.
And then,
Yeah. I bragged about having an elf.
so
That happened.
you guys know that he's invisible and watching you guys, and Kay, when you spotted him, he disappeared off into some other spot, and you guys are here probably about 100, maybe 200 feet away from where his camp is, down by the river that pours from this large dragon sculpture. What do you guys want to do?
Cry.
Well, I want to know, Trent, what are you feeling right now? The orb was just possibly destroyed.
Remember, we don't really care about us parents. Remember, we're gonna just.
That's why I'm wondering how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because if we don't really care, we could just,
We
try to
got
make
some. We got some cool potions.
we could just try to make a truce or something.
I don't really fancy the idea of, having to watch over my shoulder twice. But,
Well, because your real goal is just to gain power. It doesn't matter how, right?
I mean, it would be nice to get that orb back, at least. Because there was that whole room down there we didn't get to go in.
Now, I would like to remind you guys...
We heard a smashy smash noise.
Yeah, in case anybody forgot, there was the sound of shattering glass as the globe went off the side, and, the sound of it shattering was punctuated by Black River having a chuckle at you all.
Yeah. That's probably out of the question, right? You don't think... You can't
I
use...
mean, it would be pretty poor form for there to not be a backup to get back down into that dungeon.
Did we set his camp on fire?
No,
don't think so.
you did...
Yeah, we
that would
did.
also be poor form.
I thought Clanran was
No,
like,
Will or Z. I wanted to. Then someone else went over to the fire and brought it over to the tent.
Ah, okay.
I don't recall torching it.
I did not
I
touch it.
do. Once Clanran said something in chat there, I totally remembered somebody saying they torched his place.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we
I don't.
might be...
I know that you guys stole the chest that had some gear in it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you. I don't remember off the top of my head if you set the camp on fire. It's not here in my notes. If you guys
Yeah.
want to have set it on fire, it's fine, and we can say
We
that
might be
happened.
stepping on eggshells if
There's
we
no-
burn down his camp.
There's
I
no
think we
note of
did it,
anything
though. I don't think
shattering
it's-
either. But yeah, maybe.
I don't think it's
It
smart
definitely
either,
should.
but I think that we did do it, so I think we should take.
All right,
the,
we're gonna leave it to the roll of fate.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
1 to 10, and the camp is still intact. Oh, well, that's a 12. You guys burned that shit to the ground.
Rip. So
Well,
truce is probably out of the question.
what's a tenth to, the rest of your life? Should we go look for the orb then?
I'm sure when we took the chest, the tent was of little concern.
Does somebody have recorded down table talk what those potions were? Because I know that
Yes.
I identified them all, but I don't have any of them in my inventory because I think we did it after the tabletop was down.
Z said yes. So. That's a yes.
Are those
Yes, he's full.
are those in my inventory, or is that
The
or did I
everything.
give them to somebody else?
The wand was taken by you. The potion went to somebody. I'm holding the diamond and the pearl.
I believe I'm not holding
Classic.
anything.
I think you have the potions probably, Jim.
Yeah, I'll take.
Trin has the potions because he said he wanted to study them while we were walking.
Oh yeah, we got another really expensive gem because we're the rich party.
And we got some weird, pearl with liquid in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the pearl of water. Or we don't know what's in it, but it's
The mystery
That's
liquid
something-
pearl.
Let's hope it's not water.
Yes.
But first things first, we're going to
it's
be
got
being
liquid gold inside, guys. I'm telling you, that's what he really wants.
It's just molten metal. Just insta kill something.
Just drop it. It's like instant 3,000 degrees on somebody.
You just melt some guy's floor out of existence by accident. Oh, sorry about that.
Do we want to be, having
here.
to watch our back, or do we want to try to make a friendship with this person? Because I feel like if we explain our situation, he won't see us as too much of a threat.
Oh, we've already
We,
explained our
we
situation.
did kind of explain to him.
Well, he didn't believe us.
No,
Yeah.
he decided that his needs were more important than the needs of ours.
Well, we explained that we wanted to take it back to Deso. If we explain that we really don't care,
We also offered to help him kill whatever he's doing, and
That's why he
do
freaked out.
whatever. No, he
Um,
freaked out when he spoke to Deso, and then he laughed at
Then I
Deso
asked to talk.
more.
Here, you should probably hold on to this, and I'll toss Merton the potion.
what a potion.
This will turn you into gas if you need to get away.
Oh.
Because I know you're always like running in, and no offense, you're not, Mr. Armor over here. So if somebody's sword pokes through that, what are you in leather?
Yeah.
1 or 2 times, and
I won't argue. I'll take it.
Extremely
Yeah.
stiff leather.
or if you get caught sneaking around like you do, could be useful then. Or if Black River comes down here and instant kills me, and
Well, I do have
You
Yes.
are looking a little on the downside of life there, Trent. Why don't we take a step back?
I mean, we have to
my
think.
orb just got destroyed.
One,
I do have this-
are we
this
confronting
one here.
Black River here before he killed poor Trent, as he says?
I don't know if we're gonna be able to catch him. He can
No?
just dance all over the place, right?
I'm
Well,
certain
do
we're
we
in
have
the-
any other aim other than trying to confront him or tracking him down, or at least
There was
setting
that
up and
chick
waiting for
back
him?
in. There's that girl back in. Oh
Don't say Hillcrest, because you know we're not going back there.
no! Ooh. Remember that girl at Ool? She was pretty fine.
What?
That could be a
Yeah.
goal.
I don't believe that's of much importance. Don't worry about it, Paladin.
Why don't we go try to find the remnants of that orb? Can't hurt to keep them.
Well, we
Yeah,
could.
that's true. Maybe it can get reassembled somehow.
Plus, I don't like the idea of leaving the area immediately if we are being stalked by.
I
We
kinda
should
wanna
take
talk to this
defensive
guy more.
positions. And Tessa, you should be right behind me. And then Merton, you and
Are
Zenkus
you
should
having
be on
us
either side
surround you
of me.
so we die first, Trent?
Sounds
No.
like he's gonna attack us at night. And I
Seriously.
kind of want him to talk to us more, so I don't know. He's probably listening to us right now. It's probably a good thing.
We could still attempt to disarm him, or at least non-lethally stop him, so we can speak to him.
Probably
If he
pretty pissed that we
jumps
burnt down
thousands
his
of
camp.
feet.
I mean, I'll build him a new camp if he wants.
He also broke your
Or
My orb,
your
yeah.
whispering orb without, any concerns. So.
yeah, we'd be pretty pissed, right?
Yeah. Alright, let's go look for the orb. I think that's probably our primary goal here.
Still love you.
Do we have any idea based on thinking back to where it sounded like it was shattering, which general direction we would need to go?
Sure. Make an intelligence check.
You told us the direction. It was to the right of the camp.
Oh god. Well, I'll roll to see how precise I can get it.
But you guys would know the general direction.
That's 11 intelligence.
Okay. So, you guys decide to leave this little spot by the river, and turning away from the sound of the water rushing, you eventually make your way through some of the rocks and little shrubs and trees. And,
Is it possible for me? I just realized this. We're leaving a path, right? There's no path this way?
yes. The path that you had was just kind of the spot next to the river. It wasn't even really like a road or anything.
So the direction we're about to travel, is that even passable for me with my broken leg and this, haphazard splint and crutches?
I would say it is if you're being carried, but if you want to crutch along on your own, then probably not for the whole duration.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if I can even do this.
You guys get to a point in the pass where, things kind of disappear and it becomes like a jump across some rocks, and Trent sort of pauses there with his crutch.
I mean, if you guys want to go on without me, I can wait here, but that's pretty much asking for me to die.
While we were journeying here on the road, were you telling us of this great levitation ability that you've been practicing?
Nope. I thought about it and then decided, crutches were fine. And I focused my study elsewhere.
So, do you think we can kind of just carry you?
Well, I can teach him how to levitate. It's called throwing him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like temporary
hey, now,
levitation.
the splint is not that secure. I don't think we should be,
Suck it up.
throwing people anywhere.
So,
right?
when we look at this little jump here, how wide or how far is it across?
That's like 5 feet. It's not big, but just not something that somebody with a bum leg would be able to do.
They have to fashion something to help get this man across. How about using 3 ropes, securing them?
Yeah, you guys could pulley Trent along.
We do have 3 ropes, 2 hempen and 1 silk here. Looking towards Merlin.
Oh yeah, that really nice rope that I
Like
procured.
a rope swing or something.
Yeah, why don't we just kind of... So you said it's like a 5-foot jump. Can one of us go to the other side and just hold a rope for Trent to kind of
Sure, I'll jump
himself
first.
onto?
Okay.
Don't die.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
step forward and take a running leap across it, I guess.
Sure. You go and jump across the rocks, and I'd like somebody to make a luck roll, please.
The rock falls beneath me.
The biggest man with the heaviest armor jumps across.
The mountain falls on the cool's head.
Okay.
Haha, Jim, got you.
The shystiest player death of all time. You jump across easily. 5 feet is no great athletic feat for you. And once on the other side, you have some different handholds you could try and tie a rope to, or you could just lodge yourself in there and hold it. It's up to you.
I'll tie the end of the rope across on one of these handholds and then hold it taut
Sure.
with my own body.
Great show, great show. Who's next?
I'll jump across.
Okay. You jump across easily to the other side.
Well, why don't you go, Trent? You
You
going last is probably not the best idea.
Yeah, because then nobody can catch you.
Alright, here, and I'll toss my crutches over.
Okay. Your crutches land on the other side there, clattering onto the rock.
I'll lean over onto Zencast or Merton, whoever's closer. So what's the plan here?
You
Gonna
just
tie
have to
me up
guide
and-
you.
Hold me or
Hold the rope.
Could I be holding 2 ropes? So you could use one as almost a foothold across, and the top to hold himself. They wouldn't have to jump.
Just
You'd
tie
have to
the
be
rope.
fastened to the other side if that's
Just
what you
tie
need.
the rope. We're in a forested area. Just tie the rope to 2 trees, and he can,
Shimmy
shimmy
sham
himself
across.
with his
Yeah.
arms.
That's pretty much what I'm doing, But
Sure.
That's all you need.
So you find a spot on both sides, tie the rope down, and let Trent go ahead. And Trent, as you're grabbing onto the rope, are you strong enough to actually, basically, monkey bar yourself across?
I have a 10 strength. I did take an extra point into strength last
Okay.
level.
So this is no great feat for you, and you make your way over towards the other side, and you guys are able to kind of grab him and pull him up onto the ledge.
Oh my! Oh, don't look down.
It was
Trent,
That
five,
was a
like
mistake.
5
it was 5
feet.
feet.
you'll be okay.
5 feet and then a whole mountainside down.
I think you're fine.
We're not that far up, Trent.
Yeah, I don't think he ever described it as the whole mountain.
Yeah, we're
Not-
still on. We haven't been climbing like
But
that.
Trent's also really dramatic.
You've
I'm not.
you've been ascending.
Tails.
You've been ascending steadily up to this point, so the drop below you isn't actually that far. It's maybe about 40 or 50 feet. Trent would probably survive, but it's just jagged rock and trees, and
And I already have a broken leg.
the decline is so strong that anybody who fell down there would probably just ragdoll and continue rolling until something stopped their fall, which may be good or bad.
Okay.
Like a familiar journey into the abyss.
Has anybody seen that, what is it, Hot Rod, when he falls off the side there? It'd be That's what you're looking at,
Jesus Christ.
except more rocky and less bushy.
No, thank you.
It's a good scene.
Ropes are secure. It's safe. Zenkus and Burton, you guys can come across now.
I imagine if we leave the rope here, it's not going to be here when we get back. So, probably just untie it and take it with. As we were told, this Black River is following us. The
Would
jump,
probably, you would
jump didn't
probably
look that hard.
sabotage the ropes for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll untie it and jump across. It seemed easy enough.
Sure. You hop over to the other side and rejoin the rest of the group. You guys are able to get the rope off of the little spots and nothing is lost.
Okay, back to what we were doing.
Sure.
Shouldn't be much further to these.
The next little while of travel involves a couple more moments like this, but you guys are able to navigate, and one way or another, Trent having a crippled leg here is supplanted by the ability of you four to kind of caretake for him. And eventually, you guys get towards a little ledge where there's a little bit of dirt up along a mountainside. It's quite small, maybe coming off the side of the ledge, 3 feet or so. And then one large jutting rock that kind of comes out, and it's like a sort of tilted balcony almost. And as you guys step on it and look over, having wandered for quite a while in this direction, you're able to see there at the bottom what looks like a slightly glittering and dark mass that is the grayish glass of the orb that's like 80 feet down and just laying there in a pile. It looks thoroughly smashed. The largest piece of it is probably as big as maybe, I'd say like a couple pieces of chalk put together. Like it has, it has thoroughly cracked. Like some glass sort of retains its shape when it's hit, and others just like breaks apart into. It's like the windshield glass on a car that just disintegrates, and it's like that.
Turns into sand, basically.
Yeah.
That tempered glass.
Is there like a lot of like dust too? Like, does it look like the glass is like shattered to the point where there's like even parts that are just like
missing
glass,
entirely? Potentially. You are a little far up, so it's hard to tell, but it looks like it's mostly in a localized area. Whether or not every piece is still here, though, you don't really know.
Could we safely get to 30 feet away from it?
Sure. You guys can start to work your way down. You'll have to tie like a rope here and then descend. Is that okay?
Why don't you guys all four hold a rope around me and lower me down, and I can just use my mage hand to gather it up.
Okay. I'll hand them a pouch to put like the fine powder and stuff into as well.
Sure.
I'll hold the rope at the least. I don't know what the other three want to do. Pretty sure I'm strong enough to lower him down by myself.
Gonna inspire Trent and then hold the rope with him.
Okay.
I can try and hold the rope, but he weighs more than me.
Well, I can hold him alone, pretty much. I'm 20 strength.
Is hovering, dangling from a rope the best when there's someone around, invisible, who could just, snap
has
it?
my see invisibility worn off?
Perhaps
Only
you
lasts
guys
an
could be
hour.
pulling security while this is going on then.
I'd say it's probably still up. You can make a perception check if you'd like to there, Tessa. The first
Can I make
player
her
roll.
perception a 16?
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, you could do that.
Plus,
Oh,
it's plus mod, right? So it's 22.
22. Okay. Looking around, you don't see this Black River character at all. And if he is still nearby and invisible, your keen eye seems to pass over him. Or perhaps he's gone off to do something else. Who knows?
I'm gonna say we're good for now, guys. I don't see him. I don't think.
Just make sure he doesn't cut the rope.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Alright. So cool, I trust you with my life here. Don't let me die.
Sure. Zenkes, didn't you say you had some sort of cleric blessing that gave me the strength of a bull?
Zenka stares off the side of the picturesque view from the mountaintop here. An eagle soars off into the distance with a triumphant caw, and like some sort of a creature across the valley lets out a bleat.
I mean, this isn't like exactly 50 feet down or anything, right? I would assume it's like maybe half that at most.
It's like 80 feet. To give you a rough drawing, it would be like, so you guys are kind of on a ledge here, and then...
Just gonna lower this guy down 80 feet by himself? Holy crap.
And this is just like, rapid decline down, and there's a little rock here which has gotten stuck that has all the fragments in it, and your crew is up here.
Okay. Well, if you you three will be pulling security, then I will lower Trent down. But if you have that blessing, Zenkiss, I would implore you to use it.
Alright, I'll cast Enhance Ability on you.
How much strength does that give me? 2?
It gives you advantage on strength checks.
Okay.
So, you're able to lower Trent here, and you're certainly strong enough to do it on your own, but with this magic here, you feel even, stronger and more emboldened, and it's a much easier task than you would expect. Lowering him down, the rope is tied around your waist, yes, Trent?
Yeah, I assume I probably tied it around my waist through a belt loop or something.
Sure. As you're lowered down, you go a little bit, and then a little bit, and a little bit, until eventually you get towards the rope's end at about 50 feet or so. You summon your mage hand and go to scoop up the bits of glass, and along with bits of dirt that are inevitably picked up from the ground, you begin to clean everything up and start sweeping the area. It looks like it's going to take a couple of minutes. Are you in a rush or anything?
Nope, I'm just very carefully staring at the mage hand and sweeping all the pieces into that bag that Zakul had handed me.
Okay. Up
Trying
top,
not to look down the the rest of the fall. Staring just where the orb is.
sure. From here, it doesn't actually look that bad. Like, if something were to happen to the rope, you might be able to just grab the rock that's underneath you and, avoid slipping. But if you messed it up, it's like a long roll down the hill. And, yeah, some scraggly vegetation and, very gnarled trees manage to grow out of the side of the mountain here, but it doesn't look like much else does. And, bit by bit by bit, you gather up this thing, eventually grabbing even the largest chunk, which is maybe like 1.5 inches across sort of thing, and fill this bag.
I'll mage hand the bag back up to myself if it's not more than 10 pounds. I don't know how heavy the orb was, so...
It's a little chunky. I would say that, it's close to the limit. You can see the mage hand dragging a bit, but you're able to pull it up.
Okay. As I hold the bag here, I'll open it up, look in, look back down, make sure I didn't miss any pieces, and then without looking up, I'll just be like, all right, go ahead and reel me in. Think I got it all.
Okay.
I'll start hoisting him up.
Sure. With ease, you begin to pull Trent back up, and sooner or later, you guys get him to the spot where you can reach down and grab his clothes and everything and yank him up onto the rock here.
Do I have a moment? Is this going to take a minute for them to pull me back up, or is it sort of just a couple seconds?
Yeah, it's going to take a minute or so.
While they're pulling me up, if it's a smooth ascent and I feel I'm not going to risk spilling the bag, can I reach in and grab the biggest piece?
Oh, sure.
And just hold that in my hand really tightly?
Okay.
Is it sharp enough to cut my hand?
It would be if you held it really tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze with that hand until my hand bleeds onto the orb piece.
Sure. The thing digs in with one of its corners into your palm. It's painful, especially given the sand and everything that's in here. But you hear nothing. There's no whispers or anything. It's just a piece of glass.
I'll sort of hold on to it, and in my mind, as I'm squeezing and bleeding onto it, I'll just think, I'm sorry.
Sure.
And if I still don't hear any response, I'll sort of wipe off the shard as best I can, drop it in the bag, and then wipe my hand on my clothes or whatever.
Sure. Make a wisdom roll for me.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
Big die, big rolls. Here we go.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I think I have a +1 to wisdom. So that would be a 14.
Okay. Holding the piece in hand, you try to send something across the ether, and though there's no response, you hope that something may have gotten through. Eventually, however, you are hoisted up to the top here, and you can add to your inventory a bag with your orb remnants in it.
Thanks, guys. I feel a little bit better now, having this back. What do you guys think we should do now?
Does it still have function?
Can I scan the area again to see if he's there?
Oh. Looking around, you don't see him.
Illusion, I do have a +2 to wisdom, by the way, so that would have been a 15. I don't know if that adjusts anything, but for your knowledge.
Okay.
No, there's no function in it, Zakul, but you know, I think the whole orb was there. I don't think any pieces are missing, so hopefully I can find some way to get it functional again.
Perhaps we can restore it if we return to Deso in the future. Hold on to
Yeah,
that
I
safe
think
orb.
he might be our best bet of actually, you know, finding Black River or doing something about him, because I don't know if we're gonna be able to find him. I think we're just gonna have to rely on him finding us.
Or perhaps we can find some sort of artificer or magical person in Souls like that. They'd be able to repair that orb.
I'm not too keen on going to Soulslink.
Well, maybe south to the Empire. They have skilled craftsmen there. They may be able to fix the orb.
Yeah, that sounds more doable than Soulsland. That's a lot of travel though, and we're probably, you know, we should probably restock. I don't think we have that much food left.
We can get to the closest towns of either Everwatch or Ko.
To get to Ko, I think we'll have to go all the way back around the mountain, right? I don't think we
Right,
can go
up and
over.
over this mountain, and without a guide, it would be very hard. So Everwatch would be where we need to restart.
Anybody have a boat? Can we just sail down the river here? Is the river flowing in that direction?
It was a little creek. I don't believe it's a full-on river, right?
It definitely turns into one further down. Up here, it's like just a large jet of water that comes out of that dragon's mouth and then, you know, kind of goes down in rapids. But eventually it becomes enough that you could maybe boat down it. It would be incredibly treacherous.
That would
Oh,
be
okay.
suicide,
It's-
Trent.
It's rapid water.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't probably have any way of knowing that, but. Well, I think we should follow the river regardless.
Trent's like,
Because
back in college, there used to be whitewater rafting.
Like down here around the bridges, that's where it's safe enough that you could get in a boat and it would be just like, you know, paddling along. But over here, the incline is like, or the decline is so steep that it's just, yeah, bad news bears.
Well, I mean, there is sort of a forest around here. We could always head down the river, and if it, you know, settles down at all, make like a raft or something and ride to Everwatch. We have plenty of rope, and there's plenty of trees. I don't see any reason why we couldn't fashion some sort of floating raft, or maybe even a couple of rafts.
I think by the time it is safe to actually even enter that, we may have different circumstances. Let's at least make it down to the safer part of the water, or even consider that. Because there were forests down here, right? Like
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, there's
So we have-
sparse trees and things like that.
And you sure we have enough food to make it to Everwatch, right?
Yes. Let me check my rations real quick. Hold on.
I have none, I don't think. Or no, I have a few.
Yeah, I thought we spread some out.
We were eating them on the journey here. We were just using the ones that you were holding, right? Because you had so many.
Towards the end, I told you guys to like take one. Did you do that?
I think I have like 12 or 13.
I'm down to 10 at the moment.
I'm 8.
Yeah, 35 rations would be enough to get back to Overwatch, even if we walked the whole way. But if you want to try fashioning a boat, we can get that at a time. But let's get away from the rapids first. See if that's even a viable option.
Hey, Tessa, how many times can you, you know, do that thing
The thing.
where you can actually watch over us?
That's about an hour each. I can. As of right now, I feel like I can only do it about 6 or so more times.
Okay. Well, I guess we should probably be off then.
We'll have to find some other way to track down Black River. So, yes, let's go to Everwatch if there's no other objections.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys are going down the same way that you went, and are looking to get to the road and then into Everwatch, or you're taking a little raft down.
Right. Depending on what the conditions are like once we get there,
Sure.
we can make a route.
Okay. So, given the time, you guys travel down the way for a little bit, a few hours traverse, until the darkness starts to come to the valley here. And when the sun passes just underneath some of the nearby mountains, the whole place is just taken up in shadow, and there's a sort of eerie light about the place as the rest of the world has its ambience. It starts to go down. Now, what are you guys doing for camp? Are you doing anything special? Given circumstances, or are you just doing like a
we
normal
should,
watch? Or...
but I don't know what special we have.
Yeah, I mean, what type of terrain do we have around the place that we stop? If you can provide that, I guess.
Who's whoever has proficiency in it can make a survival roll.
Oh, baby, I actually am proficient in that. Let me find my... Oh, I'm not proficient, but I'm a bard.
Yeah, like none of us have.
Yeah, none of
Survival.
us have. You're just the only one that can do it.
Oh, that's an 18.
Okay.
Oh.
So before bed, you managed to find a little spot for the group to tuck into. It's a little bit away from the river, not so far that you can't hear the rapids, but it has an overhang. Here, I'll get rid of the dragon thing here.
That is a badass dragon drawing, though.
I remember you were like, no, draw it. And I was like, okay.
This is like there's a dragon coming out of the side of the mountain. I'm like, oh, you gotta draw that.
He's like, I'm describing this so cool, and then it's like, wait, draw it, and then, okay.
Regret.
From now on, everything you guys run into is bland.
Yeah, it all looks like shit.
You come to a rectangular house.
The textures are all broken.
You find that there are no rounded edges in this town.
Not one. Because Apple owns the design patent to rounded edges and sued them.
Jesus.
That's a real thing that happened, by the way.
Yep.
Company has more money than some governments do. There we go.
Luckily, Tessa seems to have found us a good camp spot. Defensible.
Yes, I'm grateful.
So off in this direction, there is the rapids, which are probably about this distance.
Are these like large rocks, or is
Yes.
it rough terrain like before?
Yeah, those are
Okay.
large rocks. I'll draw them in a bit.
Oh man, we're getting 3D.
Yeah.
The future is now, boys.
So if you guys want to set anything up, you are more than welcome to do so.
I'm gonna go over by the woods
Okay.
and gather all of the dead twigs that I can find. like just fallen branches, just like armfuls of it, hopefully.
For crunchy noises.
Yeah, I'm just gonna litter the ground around all of the entrances with crunchy noises.
Interesting.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything to find those, or is that easy enough to do?
I would say that you find those just on your own there. Given how arid it is in this area, it's really not tough to find that kind of like loose tinder sort of thing. So where would you want to put that around? Like here?
Yeah, the 3 entrances,
Okay.
especially, and then maybe a little bit if there's like an excess of it, like back here around the where someone might be able to climb up on that rock. The other 2 don't really seem like they have a good like foothold or anything,
Okay.
but that one actually has a top.
So the pink lines here are areas that have potentially crunchy stuff on it that might alert you.
And then after that, I'm gonna go back and get like leaves and just try and, you know, cover it in dried leaves to make it not look like somebody just laid a bunch of branches down here.
Okay.
Try and blend it in as best I mean, I'm no survivalist. I'm probably not gonna, you know, this isn't gonna be a master trap or anything, but
Yeah.
Look towards Tessa. Is like
hopefully the darkness will help. And
Tessa,
I
do you think this will
will-
work? Trent seems
I
to have
will
an-
look it all over with my survivally skills. Let me roll something for myself.
Survivally skills.
It's a 16 on survival. Yes. This would be great.
Okay, so you go along and, you know, you see what Trent's done, making adjustments here and there to try and make it look a little bit more natural. If somebody was paying attention, they would probably notice this, but in the nighttime, it could potentially work.
It's real dark. Yeah. Good job.
Well done, Trent.
yeah, I'm pretty smart.
Uh,
As I like walk across one of my crunchy traps, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oops.
You guys notice something too. As it gets darker here and you guys make prep for your camp, maybe setting up a little fire or maybe some, you know, some tents or rolling out the bedrolls, that kind of thing, that across the way on the mountains on the other side there, it looks like little blips of light kind of like pop into existence along the side of the mountain.
Like someone's lighting the mountain?
Yeah, like there's little pinpricks of light along the mountain surface, some of which are, you know, they must be close to the valley floor, but others go up, you know, close to the peaks of the mountain.
So there's like some sort of civilization over there.
Maybe it coats almost the entirety of the mountain over there.
It's interesting.
Can I roll anything, like, is there any natural cause for that, or do I think that that's campfires?
Oh,
Like, do I know if there's any creatures that would light up like that?
yeah, you can make let's say a nature roll if you have it, or Arcana.
Can I make a nature roll?
Sure.
Or actually, can I take Arcana? I'm actually proficient.
I don't have nature. It's one of 2.
Nature. That's an 11.
And that's an 11 what?
Arcana.
Okay. You know that there's some creatures that produce light. As far as what would live out here, though, nothing really comes to mind.
Cool.
Yeah, mine's an 11 Arcana, so.
Yeah, you're sort of stumped, too. From the size of it, it doesn't look like you're looking at, you know, a city off in the distance. It's much smaller than that. You're not sure if it's like a campfire or maybe some creature. If it is a creature, there's a whole bunch of them over there. Probably a dozen, maybe 2.
So, I have a question about my book.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know how it can record everything going around, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so would I be able to have my, like, I wonder if the book can, like, write on me if it sees something I don't,
Right on you.
like, write on my skin so I would feel it?
Oh, I see.
Like, if we're, like, sleeping or, like, taking watch or something?
I would say no.
Okay.
I would say the book is not an alarm system.
Okay.
Though if something happens and you're conscious and the book is running, it might record details of what's happened.
Okay.
that you aren't paying attention to. It can be still useful.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Let's set up the watch order then. I suppose.
Is this the? Do high elves get trance? I don't think so.
High elves get
Tessa.
what?
Oh, I mean half elves. Half elves get trance.
Oh.
Where they don't need to sleep. They could just
I don't
do
think
that
they
activity.
do.
Nah, I think
I
it's
don't
only
think
full
it's just only
elves.
high. Yeah. Or
Not today, filthy half-breed.
Thanks. Thanks so
Are you
much.
a half elf?
I am a half elf for the charisma.
You promised me you could trans. I bragged about it.
Well,
Yeah,
it
you
was a
also
great
didn't
bluff,
know.
Trent.
Good bluff.
But by not knowing, you actually thought it was truth.
By not
and
knowing,
had
you
to
didn't
see.
have to roll deception.
Yeah, and now you won't bother us while we're sleeping.
But
Black
Tessa,
River's
do
been
you-
fooled by your retardation.
Tessa, do you believe you can take the last watch?
Yep.
Attacks normally happen right before dawn.
Yep.
Okay, well then I will take first.
Illusion.
Yes.
I know wizards have that ability to like learn new spells for their spell book.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that from other player characters, or does it have to be from like wizard spell books that you find?
I think you can learn that from other characters. You can copy spells from each other's books. That does
So
work, you
even
just
though-
need the ink.
So if Tessa isn't a wizard, she's a bard, and she has a spell from being a bard, but it's also a wizard spell, would I be able to learn that, or is it only wizard spells? Like,
I would say you have to learn it from a wizard spell book, so
okay,
yeah.
because I was looking at that see invisibility spell, because that would be useful for me to learn if we could get the inks. I mean, we obviously don't have the inks, but
Well, you do have the cash. You might be able to get it when you go into town.
yeah, we are filthy rich,
Mm-hmm.
Are we? Wait, how rich are we?
very
Forgot.
rich.
I forgot.
Last count, I have well over 800 gold. Just
Oh.
for me if you sell the diamond.
Baby. Okay.
Also, Z's wearing like a $2,000 set of armor.
That's true.
And I'm
What-
wearing
what
like
else
a
sells?
200 gold.
Yeah, also not planning to sell
What?
like this nice cloak / robe thing or the armor. But yeah,
You
in terms
know,
of
we just
item value
look
as
really
a party
rich.
order.
Yeah, we look a lot. We look like we belong in
We just look
nobility.
super rich.
I think Tuesday's the only ones that are doing better than us in terms of just monetary value.
Ah.
Tuesday's poor now.
Oh no.
I think, yeah, Tuesday's poor.
Maybe done.
Wednesday was welfare. Now they have some good money. And then Thursday is...
Eh.
I think, yeah, I think
Yeah.
Thursday
Wednesday-
doesn't have much going on for cash.
Didn't Wednesday take out a loan or something from a
Oh
loan shop?
no.
That was a couple episodes back. They paid it off and made a whole bunch of money. It was kind of bittersweet though, because they got a big reward, and then like an NPC they liked got assassinated. Sorry, died of natural causes, as far as the guard knows.
Super dead.
All right, I'm off to bed. Night, guys.
Good night.
Trent, you're taking second watch with me. You're staying up. Pinch his ear.
Okay.
Tears his fucking ear off. Who's first watch?
Me and Trent, I think.
Oh, you and Trent are first watch?
Like once everyone's asleep, it'll be us two.
Okay. So I would like perception checks from both you and Trent, please, as it starts to get properly dark here.
And Tessa gets like the midnight watch, the one like right before the
Oh,
sunrise.
yeah, the last one?
Yeah, the last one. Oh, this is
JK, I wouldn't even live that long to see it.
I know, right? Well, you don't know. Lucian has to roll to see if these guys are attacking. Like as soon as everyone goes to bed.
As the evening begins to draw on, the sun has already passed over the threshold of the mountains, and a large shadow has come into the valley. But as the sun sets on the rest of the world, the like dim blue light that hangs above all the mountains gradually starts to dim and becomes a dark blue and then a black. And when it does hit that black point and everything around here, falls into night and the stars appear up above, you also notice that the lights from the different parts of the mountain become a little bit more clear, and you notice them in other spots too, some of which are not across the valley but are actually nearby. As for Yuzakul, you don't pick up on this, but Trent, you notice something maybe about 100 to 200 feet away through the trees. You see what looks like a little patch where there's like a stray flame playing on a bit of tree. Like, you're not seeing the flame directly, but you're seeing a light that's cast on a tree, like off in the distance.
And it looks like, is it flickering like a flame would, or
Yeah.
is it?
It looks like it's maybe 200 feet away, probably like off in this direction and like down the hill a little bit.
Can I like walk over and tap Zakul?
Sure, yeah, he's awake and just kind of looking around.
I turn and stare at him.
I point over towards the flickering, and then I point at our campfire, and then I point back at the flickering again.
It's tough to see what he's pointing at, but after a moment, Zakul, you notice it. It's through so much foliage you didn't see it before, but there is apparently a light source over there, and it does kind of move like a fire would.
Could I just put something, like, put my pack down
Sure.
in between that fire source and our fire, so ours is at least covered behind something,
Okay.
and just motion like silently towards Trent, like we're not moving out at night, but keep an eye out in that direction.
I just nod, and I'll sort of like settle in against this rock here, like looking over in that direction.
Sure.
I'll be looking the other way, but I'm sitting next to Trent.
Okay. Through the course of the next hour, very little happens, but before your watch is done, and, in between the snores of your three friends who are fast asleep, you do notice something, Trent. The light occasionally goes out every now and then. Now that you're keenly focused on it, you see that either it gets blocked out, or perhaps is put out every now and then. It's not accompanied by any sound, really, as the different cicadas and insects in the area and strange animals nearby give up like an ambient noise. But that does happen every now and then.
Now, when it happens, I think, and I might be completely off base here, but I think, like, as a player, I think that when you, like, first light something, it, like, flares up and then it settles in. Is the light source doing that? Like, is it, like, really bright for a brief period and then it settles in? Or is it just, like, or is it more like a magical light source where it, like, returns, like, straight to the same steadiness that it was when it went out?
I would say, giving your perception check of 12, you can't tell.
Okay, I'll just keep an eye on it then.
Sure.
Captain Trent, your eyes can play tricks on you. You are tired. Make sure you mark the spots and inform the next watch. I don't believe we should be trapezing through the night, chasing every odd sound or light. We do need a rest to fend off Black River if necessary.
Black River.
Black River. Sorry, my voice changer isn't working, and I didn't feel like restarting my computer to get it to work.
No worries.
It's fine.
It wouldn't have sounded much more intimidating to say Black River. What
Black River.
Speaking of
yeah.
which... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'll just, stay here, keeping an eye on that spot until our watch ends.
Okay. Speaking of which, your watch does end. Who is it who you go to wake up to take over?
I think it's supposed to be Merton and Zenkos.
One or the other.
So this is...
Tessa can
before
only
the
do
last
one watch.
Right, Tessa's doing the last.
There's 4 watches. 8 hours, 2 hours of each watch.
Oh, okay. Well, we would alternate anyway, right?
Yeah, so, either Zenkas or
That's fine.
Merton's up.
Okay. You guys step over and wake Merton from his slumber.
Merton, come here.
Yeah.
See that light?
Do I see that light?
You do. It's difficult to see and far away, but after a moment you notice through the foliage that, sure enough, there is a flickering over there.
I'll describe what I know about it to him. You know, how it like goes out every now and then and seems to be about the same distance. Might either be like being shielded or maybe going out and being relit. It's hard to tell from this distance.
You know, if I were a murderer in the night trying to murder some people, I would set a fire to the opposite of where I am. Not like look in the opposite direction.
Sure. You stare at a dark rock nearby.
Just, you know, every now and then look over there and make sure it's not getting closer.
How
Okay,
far
pretty
would I
far.
estimate that it is away?
It's probably about right here.
Oh, that's not very far at all.
That
There
was
is
way closer
more.
than I thought too.
There is more terrain in the way, but yeah.
That's quite close. How long has that been there?
Since, you know, the sun went down.
I advise that you didn't attempt to investigate it alone. We're in a defensible position here, and it could well be a ploy or a decoy to lure some of us out.
Well, nothing's happened, so best we leave it for now.
Trent falls asleep.
While they're discussing what to do,
I'll
Trent's
be
just
on
gonna
my
like curl over and fall asleep.
I'll be on my toes. Just get some rest.
Okay. Trent soon falls asleep, and Zakul, you go to join him. And Merton, you take your watch. Are you doing anything at all during your watch?
Besides watching, no.
Okay.
He
All
goes to
direct-
investigate the fire alone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I would like somebody to roll luck, please.
You're the one
It's my
away.
watch. I'll do it.
Ooh, almost a 3.
15.
It was almost a 4, and then it was almost a 3, but it settled on 15, thank God.
Okay. Waiting there, Merton. Do you watch this light, or are you just like looking around all over the place?
I'm equally watching everywhere.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I would have more caution, like I said, to the other places because that's what I think I would do. Keep in mind my little dark vision thing. 12.
Okay. With your dark vision, you can see that the area around you is indeed quite alive, and the denizens of the night, whatever they may be, strange insects, small creatures, little mammalian rodent-like things, occasionally scurry between bushes and whatnot, but nothing that seems like a threat. Your watch goes by without a hitch, and 2 hours pass into the night, until eventually it's time for you to swap over. Who do you wake?
Zemkus.
What?
I'll just tell him about, Alright, Zemkus, it's your watch. There's a fire over there. Don't go investigating. Just look all around. You should be fine. Stick where you are. See you in a few hours.
I just look towards the fire and I look towards the other 2 piles of leaves, outwards past the 2 piles of leaves Trent built.
Okay. Are you doing anything different for your watch?
Occasionally, while I'm looking like over between the piles of leaves that Trent made, is just walking and first so if it makes sounds, and towards the fire, they told me. I'll
Okay.
glance up at the rocks just to see if anyone's standing up there.
Sure. I would like somebody to make a luck roll, please.
Your watch, Clint.
Your dice are not large enough, by the way.
God, no.
Saying don't do it.
Oh my god.
10. Average.
Okay. The night goes by with no problem. You hear strange creatures around, and eventually the final watch is coming around. Do you go and wake Tessa?
Yes, I go over and poke her.
Okay. Tessa, you wake to being poked.
Yep, I'm up. Immediately waking up, can I guidance myself and keep myself guidance because I'm paranoid. Super
Ah.
paranoid.
Interesting. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Are you doing anything different for this watch as Zenkas pokes you and then crawls into his bedroll?
I'm gonna give it a couple minutes for Zenkus to fall asleep, then I'll cast See Invisibility as well.
Ah, okay. I want you to go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Oh yay.
I'm
Ooh,
watching
and I have
Trent
guidance.
the entire time. He's like right next to us.
That's a 20. Should I roll the d4?
That's up to you.
Sure.
Do it.
Roll!
D4
it's
that
a
actually
24.
rolled.
Okay. You get a good look around the area. Everybody's passed out and wandered into their bedrolls, and with your see invisibility, the world takes on a somewhat ethereal look almost as you can gaze into things around you that most people would not see. Now, while looking around, you don't see anything like the figure of Black River. However, you do notice with the 24 what looks to be a strange light source that no one has told you about off in the distance. It's not far away.
God damn it, Clemmer.
God damn it! So I see it? Do I see it flickering and stuff?
Yeah, every now and then the light source flickers.
So I'm not gonna focus here, I'll equally look around, but I will look more at the light source between. I'll look at the light source for like 2 minutes, and then I'll turn and look for like a minute or so at each other entrance. But I want to keep focus on hearing anything around us.
Okay. Throughout the evening, about half an hour goes by, and during this time your spell is still active, and you're looking around throughout the darkness, and you notice something. Across the way, it looks like one of the lights on the other side of the mountain, which has been a feature for the half an hour that you've been seated here and looking around, just goes out spontaneously and disappears. Psh, it's gone. Much like a star being extinguished or vanishing from existence.
So I probably want to... So, this one went out?
No, one across the
Oh,
valley.
a different one.
Yeah, so on the mountains, a day or two away, you see the thing go out.
So assuming it's probably someone moving, I'm going to, kind of, move back against this rock, sitting up looking like I'm sleeping, but watching the entrances and trying to listen again to see if anyone's around.
Okay. Looking around, you see something.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And it's over the side of the rock, over in this direction. You see what looks like something serpentine that's moving along the ground. And it looks like a large, it's like a, kind of like a boa constrictor almost, like a very thick snake that's going across the ground.
But really big?
Yeah, it's probably 15 feet in length.
Anaconda? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would,
It's silent,
to
but you
minimize.
notice it there just with your sight. It's barely moving along the ground, just this little serpentine thing.
I would like to minimize any sound I could possibly make.
Sure.
I guess I'll leave. Yeah, I'll leave the campfire.
Okay. Are you staying in the same spot?
Yeah.
Okay. Time passes for a bit, and as you're there, trying to be as quiet as possible, the sound of the people around you is kind of like a little distracting. It's hard to hear what's on the other side of the rock, but you think that you can still hear the things slithering around on the ground. And then while you're there, you notice something. In the corner of your eye, you see what looks like the light in the distance nearby goes out. And it doesn't flicker coming back after a few seconds like you've seen before. It just, it's gone.
Do I hear anything? Like maybe another snake or it moving to another side of the rock?
No, it sounds like whatever was there has not moved towards you, but instead has taken the path towards the water and is actually getting more distant.
Oh. I would like to, I guess, focus on this entrance a little bit more since that's where the light was in that direction. So if anyone could be moving, they could be moving towards our campfire. Yes.
Okay. You watch over in that direction, and another half an hour or so goes by. The snake doesn't show up, the light doesn't come back, nothing triggers the little bits of foliage that have been put around. When your spell ends, do you do anything? Do you just wait out the rest of the watch?
Yes. I will... Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Another hour passes, and the sun eventually comes over the top of the mountain, and you five wake up.
Oh.
Can I get up and just start walking towards where I saw the snake?
Sure.
Since
Tessa,
everyone's
where are you
awake now.
going?
Hold on.
When I hear her crinkle, I'm gonna
Crunch,
just
crunch.
jump up out of bed like, what is it? Who's here?
It's Tessa.
Do I see anything outside this, I guess, entranceway?
No, it doesn't look like anything's been by there.
I nudge Trent as like, be quiet. Tessa needs to take care of her womanly business in the morning. It's very
Oh, so
rude
funny.
to be
Can I,
about it so openly.
can I do a sweep around the, I guess, camp?
Sure. You can make a survival check.
Oh. Can I still have guidance with this?
Sure.
Sweet. Okay. It's an 18. It's 19.
19. Looking around, you don't find anything for tracks. It doesn't look like anything has been by here.
I'm gonna go back in the camp and start explaining what I heard and
Okay.
kind of saw. So
I laugh and it's like, well,
Oh.
good watch. And I turn towards Trent. It's like, perhaps you could have been eaten in the night without young Tessa protecting you. You're 15
Yes.
feet certain.
Not afraid of snakes.
this is a
Says
really
very
big one.
convincingly.
Like a really big one.
Did
I've
anyone
walked it
notice?
off to check on that. I want to see if it was a campfire or like if there's no sign of anything
Hold
over
on,
where that
man.
fire was.
Let's pick up our gear. We'll check it out with you.
Fair
And I'll let
start
them know
packing
about
gear.
what time it went out as well.
Okay.
Just about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago.
Not even.
About an hour ago, yeah.
About an hour ago. I thought it was while your invis was still on, and there was like an
Oh
additional
no, it's right as
hour.
it ended.
Okay. Well, are we all packed up, Illusion? Can we go,
Sure.
go together?
You guys grab the camp, get everything set up, and start to head off. Leaving this spot, you guys are going over here to investigate.
Mhm.
When you guys go over there, you find something interesting. Built into the side of the wall, there's a little recess, and you find what looks like a small cave that snakes inwards. It can't be too shallow, going only about maybe 10 feet. You can sort of see towards the back end of it. But it's not empty. You see what looks like a single man who's seated there on a bedroll, and he has a book in his hand, and he looks over at you guys when you approach.
Hi, friend.
Morning.
Good morning.
He holds up a hand as if to wave to you guys, and you see immediately the garb that he sports is not something you would see in a normal town. He looks like a monk, and
The monk again?
Yeah, he has monk robes on and a shaved head, and he's just seated there with a book in the very dim light of the cave near the entrance. And after you call hello friend, he holds up a hand and smiles, and then turns back to his book.
Say, can I ask you a question?
He pauses for a moment and looks over and he says, "Sure, what is it?"
You know anything about those lights at night? Is that like a campfire you had here? We saw there was one over in this direction. We camped sort of by the river.
I did have a fire going through the night. It is part of our ritual.
Oh, cool.
So are
Do you
those
happen
all
to hear any
monks
snakes?
then?
He kind of tilts ahead as you guys speak in unison.
Sorry. Do you happen to hear any snakes?
The mountain's home to many creatures. Thankfully, I did not run into any of them.
Oh, okay.
Is that what all the lights are on the mountain? All monks like you? You're not the first we've ran into.
My brothers and sisters are many in this area. You've likely seen some if you've traveled through.
Yes, we have.
This time, if I'm looking up and down at him, does he seem like a monk if I insight check him? Like everything
Oh, sure.
he says? Like, not some dude that is actually disguised as another
Oh,
dude following us
baby!
around. Is it not 20? 22.
Dude, Zero's dad toys like it's nothing.
That was my first one.
No, throughout this this
After the campaign,
game, total
maybe?
lot.
Maybe more than a couple.
You get a good look at this man, and staring at him, the way with which he holds himself is very genuinely pious, and you're fairly certain that what he's telling you is true and that he is indeed a monk, though you would question his fighting abilities as his body seems quite emaciated. He looks like he hasn't eaten in days, though he doesn't seem to be bothered by it.
Are you doing some sort of rite that requires fasting? Like what?
He smiles and gives you a slow nod. You can see the sort of like sinewy texture of his neck and everything, as you know his skin has been pulled taut and everything over the last few days.
Does your order have a name? Just out of curiosity.
He shakes his head. He says some of the monks here have orders, but the rite can be done by any who seek pilgrimage.
Oh, that's cool.
Where did you hear of this pilgrimage to be taken and the rites, the methods to fulfill this rite?
He closes his book and gets up off of his bedroll and walks over towards the front of the cave, kind of like he's meeting you at his doorway. And standing there, he, squints his eyes at the sun off in the distance and looks over at you, Zakul, and he says, I've been living in Ko for some time. It's extremely common practice for anybody there to leave and make the pilgrimage. I've done it a few times, actually. This is not my first trip here to the mountains. Are you travelers through the area? You're far from the roads.
We were trying to meet
Following
someone
the river.
over at the mountain. By the
One
base
of my
the river,
brothers,
yeah.
perhaps.
Perhaps. Are
It
you
goes by
aware of it?
Black River?
Are you aware of the man who might have been camping underneath the mouth of the dragon?
He pauses for a moment, and seeing you name him there, Trent, and then, your descriptions are cool. He looks over at you and he says, yes, he's been there for some time.
Any interactions with the other brothers or those on the right? Anyone from Code know of him? Or spoken to him, I should say.
I'm not familiar with him. He's dressed very strangely. The travelers that I saw walking towards my spot here, none of them were dressed quite as lavish as he. And strangely enough, I believe he's alone. There was a time where he wandered down and I spoke with him briefly when he came by. But when he found out I didn't have anything to eat, he simply turned away and left.
Yeah, he's not quite as serene as the rest of you seem to be.
No, I don't think his purpose is to find inner peace.
Sorry. Yeah, I doubt that's his purpose too.
The monk looks completely flat-faced. You don't know if you've offended him or not, but like nothing. There's no emotion that shows when you have a chuckle.
I would probably avoid him. He's
Excuse me.
he's not good people.
Good people.
Well, if you have any other questions, I'm in between meditations.
Not good.
How long does the river stay rapid for? We're looking to head to Everwatch, and I was wondering if a boat might be more expedient way of traveling down there.
You'll want to go at least another day down the river before trying that. 2 if you want to be safe.
Okay.
Though,
Do you know if boats frequent that area at all, or is it pretty much still water or empty waters?
it's probably safe for a day down, but the river does make a few turns. I'm not much of a sailor, I guess you could say. I worked the farms in my earlier life, but it certainly seems like difficult water.
Is there anything we can do to help you with your, you've been extremely helpful to us, and I'm sure it can't be easy being out here all on your own.
I have no need for anything.
Alright, well, that's all I really have, unless any of my allies have anything to ask.
Why don't we leave the kind man to his meditating and be on our way?
Thank you for all your help, really.
Blessings to your journey. These valleys can be dangerous at times. I hope you don't run into anything too unfortunate.
Like snakes.
Same to you.
Many blessings upon you, Mom.
Thanks.
Is there things to be worried about other than those snakes?
I have seen not much for snakes out here. Some of the birds on occasion. Even the beasts don't seem to come through these valleys often.
Say, there's that, Hyprex beasts out here, aren't there?
I've been lucky enough to have seen none. I've heard that they pass through the valley on occasion.
Joy.
I'll be looking for them. If on the evening you see the lights disappear, then it's likely that I and my brothers have decided to get up and move.
I see.
That might indicate that there's something amiss.
Good to know. I hope to see the lights whenever we pass through here.
He gives you a smile and a nod there, and turns and starts to walk back into his cave.
Well, onwards to Everwatch then.
And we start to walk back to the river.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the warning lights, the way they do that.
Interesting thing. Didn't know about.
Communications over long elevated distances. It is effective at the very least.
Well, now we know what those lights are. It's nice to know.
To think I thought it was some sort of creature.
You weren't wrong.
You guys travel back towards the river there, with the sun coming over the horizon here, and then eventually piercing above the top of the mountains. A bunch of god rays come filtering in and cascading down into the valley, and everything takes on a much more beautiful appearance. You guys start to wander down the side of the river, and at some point, something happens. You guys watch as the sun up above seems to almost just move down a few inches, and all of the clouds in the sky transpose into different positions, and you guys can tell that you've all just lost time.
Oh, gosh, that's a jarring experience.
Interesting.
I honestly hate that.
Ooh.
I wonder if that has influenced Black River's telling us at all.
Oh, yeah, that would be pretty awesome, right?
It would at least be convenient.
I'm doing my port and roll solution because I forgot to do them when I woke up.
It's a strong 18.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, with any luck, maybe it threw him off our trail. If
What do
he
you
was
know
even
about
following
Everwatch,
us.
Trent?
What do I know about Everwatch, Aleutian?
Do you have history?
I do.
Roll some history.
Big die,
Well,
big
that's
numbers.
where we were, and he knows that we're great souls.
18 history.
18. You know a decent amount about Everwatch. Give me 2 seconds.
Wait, did you say Black River knows we're great souls?
Oh,
don't
I was saying
remember
if
reading
he
that.
knew, like if he was following us and he knew who we were. Just a hunch.
We've been keeping our marks covered. We've only revealed it to certain people.
I thought that you guys did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
keep them.
We keep them covered, just we only show them to certain people.
I thought that you guys revealed it in conversation with them.
Not in the conversation I noted though.
Okay.
I mean, if you remember it that way, you're
No.
the DM, man.
It's all
Go
good.
for it.
So, your knowledge of Everwatch is that it's one of the only cities here in Skyfall that isn't human-dominated. And almost every single city here has way more than 50% of their population being human. Everwatch is the exception, and you know that there's roughly about 70% of them are all dwarves, with 30% of them being humans. And as such, the city doesn't really operate quite the same way that the rest of the place, that the rest of the realm does. You know that the dwarves are kind of shrewd at times, and they like to keep to themselves, but this seems to have been tempered by living in the human areas here. And though they kind of have a reputation of being like stubborn and withdrawn, they're apparently nothing like their cousins off in the other realms, and you think that you'll be admitted into the city just fine if you go there. It's not going to be like trying to get into a dwarven hold off in like Miraneen-Session or something.
No, it's been an issue for our party before with like gated communities and like magical checks for people to get in. Do I have any sense that there's any of that in Everwatch, or would that I wouldn't know?
You rolled an 18, right?
Yes.
You are aware that there is a restriction for entering, and that black powder is confiscated on the way in.
Okay, but it's not so much like we're gonna check what race you are or anything. Like there's no like elvish racism like there was in that one town.
You know that the dwarves as a whole have a strong conviction against the undead, and especially orcs. But you don't know if they're gonna like check you at the gate to find out if the guy in the suit's secretly an orc or something like that.
To feel my cheekbones.
Yeah, you don't know if it's anything like that. It's worth noting that the strange things that people say about Yule, those weird mysteries don't really follow around Everwatch.
Okay. I think we'll be fine going to Overwatch, guys. There's going to be a lot of dwarves there. You guys don't have any problem with dwarves, do you?
Nope.
I've never met a dwarf I didn't like.
Say, I was meaning to ask you, Zakul, how, since we're heading to Overwatch, how does Dragonborn liquor hold up to Dwarvish liquor? I'm sure there's some contention between the two.
Well,
for which is stronger.
I won't say dwarves are unable to make a brew. That's sates my thirst. But go ahead, Lucian. If you want to compare actual brews or anything.
The relationship between the two, and you can choose wherever you want your character to be here, is it's commonly believed that Dwarven liquor is the strongest, and Dragonborn believe that Dragonborn liquor is the strongest.
Ah.
If you're a third-party outsider, you would agree that both of them have very strong liquor.
Both of them like their strong liquor.
Yeah, and they seem to get into a tussle about it.
Is it like a whiskey tequila kind of thing where there's like
which gets you drunker?
Well,
yeah.
There's like a very distinct ingredient that each of them uses.
Yeah, so for the dwarves it would be like the underground fungus type things that they have access to, whereas for yams and weird stuff like that grows underground, so very earthy.
Dwarves make worm root.
And
wormwood type things.
For the Dragonborn, they have access to all the jungle fruits and stuff. So
right. So my liquor that I made would clearly come off as Dragonborn.
Yeah.
And might if I had tried to sell it to the wrong person, it might come off with a little bit of ire.
Maybe.
Or less appreciation based on its components.
Well, on the bright side, you could possibly learn something about dwarven liquors while you're there.
Yeah, I'd love to make a dwarven brew. I mean, no offense to you, I enjoyed making the Dragonborn one a lot, and I think that having the experience of making a dwarven one could help me find my own personal, because as great as making the Dragonborn one was, I think that there's always going to be someone who can make a traditional Dragonborn ale or liquor, but finding that unique thing that I can call my own is how I will actually be able to make a name for myself.
I personally prefer the dragon liquor, of course, but I've chased a single green fairy, as the dwarves call it, and it wasn't so bad.
Now, there's one other thing that you remember about the city. Whether you would mention it or not is totally up to you. But searching your memory there, you also remember that Everwatch, for whatever reason, is quite rich, and it's rumored that the dwarves have found incredibly valuable metals deep below the earth. And Everwatch is said to be very, very deep, and its mines go far into the earth.
Now, this is partially my experience from session 1, but is Overwatch still underground, or
yes.
Do I not know? Okay.
Yeah, Everwatch is underground. People know that it's set into the mountain.
Well, if anybody in my party doesn't know that, I will definitely keep that information private so that they can have the cool experience of being like, what? It's underground? Whoa! Otherwise, I'll share everything other than maybe I'll mention the richness of it, but that's...
aren't dwarven keeps normally underground, so wouldn't that be the expectation for people in the world? Perhaps.
But I did tell you all that, it's a very skyfallized dwarven keep, they let outsiders in. I was going to say westernized, and I was like, I don't think that's the right term. Yeah, it should be a good time in Overwatch. I think we'll enjoy ourselves.
Well, at the very least, we should try to track down a way to find more information on Black River, or maybe getting that orb repaired.
Or a June. Just saying.
I would like a
That's what we do.
charisma saving throw from the 5 of you.
Oh,
God.
baby, why?
It's time to start the session.
Oh god.
Give me something good.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Do you want us to type it in anywhere? Or...
I rolled a beautiful 2.
Paladin.
I mean, it's +5, but yeah.
While you guys are wandering along there, Trent, Tessa, and Zenkas, you all notice something. As you're wandering down the way, this strange sort of sensation washes over the 3 of you, and you kind of see it in each other as you walk a little bit differently there. The hair on the back of your necks kind of stands up for a second, and it feels like you're all being watched.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Hey, T-Money, you want to do that thing?
Yeah. Can I cast the invisibility?
The moment that you cast See Invisibility, you see what looks like some sort of oculus about 30 feet away from you, hovering there in the sky. It has the look of a crystal ball whose sides have been cut to be circular but still have flat sides to them. The eye stares directly at you and burns with what looks to be a green flame.
Ow.
Green flame.
Flame.
And I'm gonna tell all of them that.
Thank you, Will.
Is there
so-
any consequence to the 2 of us who didn't test that?
You guys don't seem to notice this at all. Whether or not you would notice Tessa casting the spell or whatever, I don't know. But to you guys, yeah, that you don't see this. This is only something Tessa can see.
I would relay all this to
Is he
everyone
here?
immediately. It's like in the sky?
Shoot it.
No.
I like to get behind something.
Yeah, as I'm saying shoot it, I'm like backing around a tree.
I don't know what it is, but something's going on.
Everybody
Something
takes cover.
Something invisible is chasing us.
The giant eyes in the sky.
Would I know
Sure,
what
is
this
everyone
is?
covered?
As a player, I think I know what this is, but
I don't know what it is.
I have no
What
idea.
Trent-
Oh, would Trent know? Make an Arcana roll.
Fucking NSA.
It's the NSA.
Can I make Arcana? I'm
Yep.
proficient.
it's Big Brother. 22 Arcana.
Okay.
Mine's not gonna be that good.
13.
13.
Okay.
I mean, divination is my school of magic. So.
Yeah, no, for you, just even from coming from Soulsland, scrying would be something you'd be taught about. Hearing Tessa describe like an eye that's watching you, you'd be like, okay, we're being scryed on. Somebody's watching us. And that would immediately come to mind. As for
I'd
you,
like to shoot
Tessa,
it.
Mr. Chow watching us from the sky.
as
What
for
was
you,
it?
Tessa, you know of spells that can, like look at people and weird sensors and stuff. And this seems like that, though the description of how you were always told it would look and how it actually looks here doesn't really match up.
Super weird. Is everyone hiding or covered?
It
Yeah,
looks
I got behind a rock or
I'm gonna
something.
shoot it.
Would I know before she shoots it? Would I know if like is that gonna even do anything? Like, do I because
the sensor can be broken, and you would know this.
okay.
So
then
your
yes,
call for her
I
to
will-
attack it would make sense.
Tessa, is it anyone in particular it's looking at, or is it looking at you?
Me. I would like to shoot this.
Okay, make a ranged attack roll with whatever it is you're doing here.
The short bow.
Short bow.
That's a nat 20. That's my
I
fourth.
think she hit.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna roll something here.
Don't you dare roll 20, Lucian.
Zenkas, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I am sorry.
Interesting.
Only 14.
Only 14. Okay.
Not rolling the big die.
Okay, well
Big
that's...
die, big rolls.
That was your
I'll roll the big dice then. You take 14 necrotic damage as a green fireball, accompanied by shards of glass, explodes in the sky above you and rains down on the area. And it seems that wherever this thing was hovering was in your rough direction there. And
Move my back.
the shockwave explodes out as your arrow hits the thing, Tessa, that just instantly cracks and flame and glass explodes out, and Zenkas seems to get caught in it.
I am so sorry.
Is it gone?
Are you
Tessa?
okay? Oh, right. Can I look up?
Yeah, there's nothing there, and all of you feel the sensation of this, like this sensation of being watched, lifts immediately.
Oh, we're good, guys.
Was the green fireball any resemblance to the one from within the mirror?
The green fireball within the mirror.
There was a
When
green
we
fire
went through the
when
we hit the
hourglass.
hourglass, you said it was green and it did necrotic damage when we smashed it.
Yeah, they were both green fire explosions, although this was notably larger. How much HP do you have? Like, what percentage?
I'm still over half.
Okay.
The last green fire explosion killed me, so I'm probably staying behind the tree for now.
Yeah. Can I look around? Do I see anything?
No, you don't see anything.
Come.
What's going on, guys?
We were scryed on. Somebody knows we're here.
What does that mean? How far away can they spy on us from?
Anywhere. I mean, there's various forms of scrying. That's actually my expertise.
Trent, you would know that it's most likely that the max distance is simply being on the same plane of existence. So it could be anywhere in the world here.
Well,
Tessa, are you sure that it was focused on you?
It was looking at me.
Right.
Was it looking at you because you were looking at it?
Probably. Yeah.
or it could have been our friend Black River.
Could be a lot of
Possibly.
people.
Yeah. Honestly,
Could
could
be someone
Mr.
from
Chow.
Hillcrest because there was someone who saw Tessa that night. It could be Mr. Chow. It could be Black
yeah.
River.
Well, we
Didn't
should
even
hope
hide my
that it's
face.
not Hillcrest, because if it was Hillcrest, then those of us who were disguised are
Bamboozled.
foiled now. We should
They might not have gotten a good sight at you.
we should make haste today. We should put as much distance between ourselves and this point as we can.
Laying down on the ground, the pieces of glass that have shattered from this sensor look like they're burning, and there's these little shiny bits which still have like green flame on them, and all of them suddenly tilt to the side as the flame is blown, and a gust of wind comes pulling through the area, and it's like not a gale strong enough to move you guys, but like all this dust kicks up and leaves start to roll and the trees start to rustle there. And then you guys hear what sounds like a thunder crack off in the distance.
I think it's our friend.
Is the thundercrack coming from the distance of the mountain or a different distance?
Ah, it sounds like it comes from down south. Like,
Are the fragments still there?
they are.
I'm gonna rush over and pull out my pearl and cast Identify,
Oh,
grabbing one of the burning pieces, which I know is probably stupid, but I have to touch it, so.
sure, yeah, make a charisma saving throw for me.
I'll take my 18 plus 2 for a 20.
Ah, okay.
The crack came from the south. I'm going to position myself so I'm between my group and the crack and stealth and look out for something coming.
Excuse me. I have this feeling I need to burp, but I can't.
Oh, that is awesome.
My God! Okay.
I got sneeze cupped the other day. Or I felt like I needed to
You say
sneeze.
sneeze cooked?
Yeah, I felt like I needed to sneeze like 5 times, and every time I went to sneeze, and it just like sat there in my throat, like right behind my nose, you know.
Yeah. As you hold this thing, you take 6 necrotic damage, and a vision flashes over you. Your entire sight suddenly turns to complete blackness, and then it breaks up into 2 halves. And what you see instead is what looks like a light over top of a dark. And then you realize it's kind of like a landscape in front of you that you see. This whole thing hits you in a flash. Like, it's only a second, but after the flash, there's a residual image, almost like it's been burned into your eyes for a second. So you're currently looking at, the ground and the dirt here in the mountain as the wind blows by, but you can still see this image that flashed there when the green flame leapt up across your hand and something invaded your mind. You see what looks like a horizon, perfectly flat. A land that has no features, no mountains, no foliage, just flat. And then the sky, where a sun is rising, and everything is light above that darkness. And imposed there, you see what looks like a singular figure. There's something vaguely humanoid there, and I want you to make a perception check.
Fuck. Do I use the roll?
Could be important.
Well, he's only gotten 11, that's why he's,
Yeah, that's
a
I
pretty
can
mediocre
guarantee-
roll.
I do have proficiency, so I can guarantee like a decent check, or I could go for like a good check.
Mm.
I leave that to you, my friend.
I'm gonna roll it.
Yes!
This is a plot point. We're gonna roll.
I
Big die, big
applaud
number.
you and your
die,
big
number.
balls.
And your big dice. Oh, and you.
Oh.
And it's a 7.
Standing there is a vaguely humanoid figure, and as the image fades away, it burned there, you struggle to try and pull any features from it. The only thing that you get is that it looks like a man. The way that it's standing there, there's something sort of masculine about it, but you don't really get any features as far as what race or maybe height or what the clothes are, anything like that. It all just sort of fades and crumbles away. You guys see Trent wander over here. He grabs this thing, and then there's a pang of pain as he winces there, and the flame leaps up on his hand, and it looks like he's almost stunned for a second, staring at the ground there. The wind suddenly turns, and it pulls back in the opposite direction, all of the dust now cascading in over towards the south, pulling in the opposite direction.
I drop the shard, obviously, and then I close my eyes, and without moving, I'm going to say, "Book. Tessa, I need the book. Tell it to take this down," and I'm going to describe as much detail as I can recall. I mean, obviously, I didn't see the figure, but the rest of it, like the light and dark, the horizon, some sort of sun rising behind it, all that stuff, like as vividly as I can for it to draw or write down.
Okay. You give the description to the book, and frantically it scribbles the thing out. As for the rest of you, while Trent is doing this, I want perception checks from you.
Was I able to go a little south and hide like I said I wanted to?
Sure. How far? Like 20 feet? 30 feet?
30 feet between the crack I heard and my party. Can I roll a stealth?
Roll perception first. Oh, excuse me. There it is.
Nice.
I don't see anything.
Nice one.
Yep.
Someone
I'll
got a
put
nat
mine in
20.
chat.
Okay. Looking around, you guys see nothing at first, except for you, Tessa. You wander over to Trent and pull out your book. The thing hovers by him as he starts reading out something, like he's recounting the scene from some sort of strange fever dream. and you notice something up towards the sky coming from down south. You see what looks like a streak of black that moves through the sky. Above the cloud layer, something zips and moves with incredible speed. It looks like a singular ink blot, like something left behind an octopus trying to escape its prey, but it moves with a purpose and snakes through the sky until eventually it looks like it's coming closer. Not like it's coming down, but like it's passing above you in the sky.
Would I be aware that this might be an airship as someone who was born on the Windray and seen airships all the time?
You have no idea that this is happening.
Oh,
I'm gonna call Zakul to put a shield over Trent as he's describing to the book,
oh,
and then
what
warn
am I doing?
everyone about the black.
Hold an umbrella for the young ones.
Dragon Mary Poppins.
Well, just to keep Trent safe because he's not moving.
That's the title of the episode, Dragon Mary Poppins.
You huddle around Trent there, and Tessa points something out in the sky, and when you guys look up there, you don't see it. Whatever it is that she sees must be like a pinprick or something. It's incredibly tough to really get what she's pointing at. Plus, when you're just pointing at the sky, it's difficult to triangulate what somebody's getting at. As for you, Tessa, you can continue to see this little ink blot moving around. And worst of all, when it reaches that point where it seems like it's about to pass over you, it doesn't. Instead, it stops right above you. It hovers there for a brief moment, and then disappears from existence.
And I have the see invisibility running, so I didn't see anything else.
No.
Okay.
As for you, Trent, you finish up your description. The book finishes writing down, in whatever detail it can, the recounting of this strange, like, momentary dream that you had.
That is the most bizarre usage of Identify I've ever seen. I have no idea what I just witnessed, but that needed to be recorded. Thank you, Tessa, for letting me use the book.
Yeah, the weird little black dot is gone.
What little black dot?
And I would like to re-explain everything to Trent.
Do I know any spell like that, Illusion? Or, like...
I
what it
would
could
say most
possibly
certainly not. And off in the distance, the huddled group begins to talk, but Merton, you see something 5 feet away from you. You see what looks like a black ink that starts to materialize on the ground. It seeps up like oil, spontaneously bubbling up from some sort of well, and starts to coalesce together. And we're going to go to a brief 5-10 minute break.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Oh my.
Oh, snap!
What the hell is going on?
We about to get fucked.
Looks like ink familiar.
We talked about our wealth too much. I'm sorry.
We have so much money. Wham! Natural disaster.
Wow, I did this. I need to undo this.
It's time to go use that diamond on rezzing somebody.
No, it's great. We were like,
Jesus.
what do we do now, guys? Our Aura's been smashed. Black River's nowhere. Illusion's like, I've been holding on to this one for a while. Or, I don't know. There's no
Oh,
way
what
to
if
know,
it's-
but it's exciting.
Oh no, it came from the south. Damn it. I was thinking, what if it was,
It's that girl from Mule.
Dezo.
Oh, maybe it's someone hunting me down. I didn't think about that.
Oh,
That's possible. The south is where Hesendeth is.
I will say one thing before I go to make my drink here. It is not a random encounter.
Fuck.
BRB.
My first three things were like, okay, it's Hillcrest or Mr. Cha or Black River. But I forgot.
That you're also
At the
one,
very
it's not
beginning,
just me.
Aleutian said there might be people hunting you down. And if it came from the south, well, that's from the south. Interesting. It could be many things. Huh, that's cool. I'll be right back.
Oh, I... Has a death, it's gonna kill us all. The 15 wouldn't have been enough to know what that creature was, right?
I have used the restroom. Good to go. What do you guys think this is?
So do we know where we are on the world map right now?
We're somewhere between.
Right along that river.
Yeah, between this and that.
I know what the monsters are, guys. It's the things from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh
We-
no, not
we're
that
so-
shit.
Yeah,
The
we're on
Heartless?
Circuit.
We're gonna fight Heartless? That's a bad time. We don't even have a Keyblade. I did a few summers ago I did an internship at a metalworking facility that makes like munitions and bombs and stuff. And while I was there, I noticed that somebody had taken like some scrap metal that we were going to throw away. And I don't know when they did it, but they used our laser, our water jet cutter to etch the blade of a keyblade into the scrap metal. Somebody was making a keyblade. Which is totally against company policy, and
My dad does shit like that all the time at work, though. He sandblasts a lot of stuff for my brother. One day, my dad was super bored. He made a paintball gun for my brother.
you know my story of paintball gun, right?
Yeah, about your dad and how they kept it in the garage for Christmas and it's frozen. He got shot with it.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
like,
that's fun to do.
and then
What?
like three. So I got one year my Christmas present that I asked for was a paintball gun, Z, and
No, I was just commenting about Clenner and saying,
Oh,
it's fun to
fun.
get shot. I'm like,
Yeah, well,
well,
if the paintballs freeze, they hurt really bad because it's
Oh, I
basically
know.
like shooting someone with a rock.
I know. My friend, they lived on an old farm, so we had like 3 different barns to run through to shoot each other. Like they had a silo, so like one of us would actually climb up the silo and just shoot at each other. So like if they started running across like through a cornfield or on the road, we just start shooting across at them. Like we do this in the winter, any time of the year. It's real fun during summer because we have cornfields to run in.
Uh-huh. But then the gun that they got me was like, it wasn't like a cheap one, it was a Spider. It was pretty nice actually, but like I guess it was faulty because the CO2 hose on it leaked, and I grabbed a hold of the CO2 hose. I was like trying to rip it out of my dad's hand, and got basically like carbon dioxide burns all over my hand from how freezing cold the leaking hose was. And then I never got a paintball gun again after that.
I can print you one. Just kidding. I don't even know how.
she's gonna print you a full-out gun.
Yeah, they are 15.
Jimmy
There's
wanted
parts
a
all over
crossbow.
Thingiverse.
I have a compound bow.
Oh, I got another ad.
I just realized Will's Steam picture is Riven.
I don't think it was always Riven.
No, I think it was something else before, wasn't it?
Used to be my RuneScape character.
Yeah, it had green hair.
Mm-hmm. It's a classic.
Does that mean League of Legends has replaced RuneScape in your life, Will?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it's possible.
So, any of you watch the E3 stuff?
Some of it, yeah. Caught a few of it, not live or anything, but actually I caught the Square Enix one live, but there was not much going on. Like,
Boys ready to die.
what?
It's on my Google account.
Just the boys. Kay's safe.
I'm safe.
Technically, anyone can be safe. They're just like, I identify as this.
Oh god.
We don't do that dumb shit here.
Whoa,
Thank you.
whoa, okay.
Okay.
Hey!
Sorry,
Twitch.
Twitch.
Sorry,
I'm taking it back.
Twitch.
I'm so sorry.
All over the liberal press now.
From the bottom of my heart.
Illusion's like, well, there goes $100.
That'd be so funny.
Down the drain.
I would only half be mad. See, if the thing that gets me banned is funny enough, then you can't be fully mad.
What if it's true?
Exactly, right?
You ever see the Family Guy episode where they're where they're having a millennial help, a millennial help to improve the image of the brewery?
I haven't seen Family Guy in forever, so I'm
Okay, no,
definitely
it's
out
the
of the
newest
loop.
season. It's the newest season. Like they hire a millennial to help improve the image of the brewery, and they're watching a video, and it's like they even say like this woman's helped shut down several companies, and then it's like, oh, she identifies as a man. Looks like I'm being fired. And then you just hear a different announcer after, like right after that comment, it's someone else.
They work fast.
I'm ready.
Are you really, though?
No.
Will we ever be Illusion?
Time will tell.
The only thing I ever had on my note card was Kane is a 9, and now I had to erase it because we're never going back to.
I am forever bitter. But he was so hot.
I wanted to use disguise self, but when we started the fight, I got too hyped to kill him that I forgot.
We
I
had been
got
building
so
up to that Castle Morgan fight for so long.
Yeah, and I was like, Jimmy, can you attack with disguise self? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use it, and I just got so hyped that I forgot super fast. Yeah, I had like a special moment.
What would happen? Do we have a spell that we could alter his memory?
Yeah, we got 5th level spells here.
Hey, I mean, if you want to catch that 9 in Kane,
Oh, there will be another 9 one day.
Bards have...
Maybe when I'm old.
maybe you'll find a 10.
Who knows? You might
Who
find it.
knows?
You might in Everwatch, you might find a really handsome dwarf.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna look for a handsome dwarf named Jimmy out there. How would you for that?
Gross.
You would have to be a
Extremely
giant dwarf.
Yeah.
He's like 5 feet tall. He's huge.
It's so fucked.
I don't know why, but I thought a critical. We lost another member of the 5-6 club. I'm just drawing in the map here, and then we'll start.
Why would you need to draw in the map?
Oh, no
Yeah,
reason,
yeah.
William. Just felt like adding some
Lights,
map.
right?
I'm lacking imagination, so he needs the map.
That's exactly it. For imagination purposes.
Yeah.
Imagination.
Consider me immersed.
Let's just sing the song, Jimmy. We'll sing the song and get out of here and go into imagination realm.
Oh god, I don't know this song. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a Coke.
Are we sponsored by Coke?
That'd be awesome.
We are now.
Jimmy's off grabbing his refreshingly delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola.
Share a Coke with the champion.
I always play my best when I.
Well, thank God I was muted. What I just said.
That's how you know Lucian has become a podcast when he's just starts throwing commercials in the
Oh
middle.
my God, that hurts.
Like,
Hello, fresh.
Nothing like killing your D&D party members while sucking down an ice-cold Coke.
An ice cold con modifier.
And when you need to send funeral invitations to their loved ones, use stamps.com.
When playing D&D in real life, make sure you only use Thompson miniatures. If you use any other type of miniature, you'll cause brain damage on them. That's Thompson miniatures, the ones that don't cause brain damage.
That's a great slogan.
The
a
ones
winner to me.
Alright, I'm ready if you guys are.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay.
Ready, Freddy.
And we are back. Next to you on the ground, Merton, you see what looks like ink that begins to coalesce, bubbling up from the ground. It pools together, and then, as if defying gravity, begins to elongate from the ground. Like some sort of strange serpent, it starts to pull upwards vertically, snaking back and forth as it does. What do you want to do?
I started like moving away right when I saw it. That'd be
Sure, you
good.
can move maybe like a
Nope,
turn's
the fuck
worth.
Out of there.
I want to see
like
it
right
still.
here.
I just don't want to be right on top of the thing. I'm guessing I don't know what it is.
Sure. As you guys are
Well,
over here
Russ,
talking, you hear what sounds like a bubbling noise from over here, and hear Merton moving around. As this happens, the winds begin to change once again. With a second crack of thunder, they now begin to swirl around you guys. All of the trees start blowing in like a counterclockwise position around you
Can I
guys.
summon
with-
my weapon?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you ever get a cooler one?
It's got a hook. It's got a little hook on it now.
I'd like you to make a perception check, please, Merton.
Guys, we got something's happening.
Hold the
Bubbling.
umbrella over them.
No, that's
Yeah, definitely something's happening.
What was that?
A 7.
A 7. You see something, oddly enough, there in the ink that begins to get higher and higher, like it's summoning some sort of dark snake into the world. You notice there's like an object in there. There's something within the ink. And for a moment, it bubbles up to the surface and then seems to like fall back into it. There must be something in this thing that you're looking at, though it only flashes for a moment and you're not really sure what it is. And then you see another object that's like there bubbling in the ink.
Guys, get over here.
Okay.
Trent, is everything okay?
I'm gonna start running towards Merton.
Trent seems okay, right? Like after he snapped out of that trance?
Yes.
Yeah.
His hand's burned, but that's about it.
What's up, Merton?
In front of Merton, there's a strange pooling of ink that rises up about 2 feet off of the ground. It warbles around, betraying objects within it, and on occasion constricts, getting smaller, and then bubbles out, getting larger.
What
Can't
the
there
fuck
some
is that
sand in
thing,
it?
Merton? What'd you do?
Do something. I don't know. There's something in there.
Do something. Okay. Yeah, let me just go and
So you
fix
don't know
it
what
right
this
up.
is? You know what everything is.
I don't know what it is.
Not you, Trent.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Do
you
I know what this is?
Does that look like ink?
It does look like ink. Now, as far as what this is, I would say that you don't, Trent, but I will let you make a perception roll.
Also, as I'm perceiving this, how much would that much ink cost? Because ink is not cheap.
No, it's not. You're seeing hundreds of dollars worth of ink here. It's
Oh no!
Awkward.
Oh no, the ink's in his eyes. No!
A dust particle flies.
Damn it! I need to check these papers. There, you have no idea what it is that you're looking at. And just from the sheer amount of it, it looks kind of like oil bubbling up from the ground, not ink. And as
Somebody
you,
bottle that up. It's
Can I
liquid
pick up
gold.
a stick and pass it through? See if it, like, instantly burns it away?
you want to do what?
Pick up, like, a stick and just pass it through the ink
Oh, okay.
to see what effect it might have.
When you throw a small stick at the thing, it is absorbed into it and just seems to, like, fall past the surface and disappears. Something happens. You hear a loud crunching sound, and there's something distinctly metallic to it, like somebody taking a tinderbox and crumpling it. And after that, there is a shimmer of a bunch of arcane writing that surrounds the ink in a circle. If anybody has proficiency in Arcana and is currently within eyeshot of this thing, they are welcome to roll.
What happened to the stick?
It's disappeared within the ink.
Well, I rolled a nat 1,
Nice.
so I don't know anything.
And Trent, you can see around there. Tessa, you might want to move, by the way.
I got a 14.
Oh,
Saying you're like on the
well,
other side
I
of
ran
the rock.
towards Merton, so.
Okay. What did you get there, Trent?
14.
14. You see the writing on the ground there, and you don't recognize all of it, but it's clearly some sort of wizarding script that you're looking at. This is the language of magic that is drawn out there. And you see some of it is actually legible, 1 or 2 words. You see, what is it? You see the word for metal there, and you also see the word for offering. The rest of it you can't read.
Are the runes separate from the ink itself?
They surround it in a circle, yeah.
Are they just like light, or are they like physical beings that are like there?
It's
Can
just
I
a
tell?
shimmering light, kind of like an illusion.
Can I walk up next to it?
Sure, you can move closer.
I still have the Identify Pearl in my hand. And I'm gonna cast Identify, but wave my hand through the letters, not touch the ink. See if I can
interesting.
read the rest of the words here.
Roll Arcana to see if it works that way.
Ah, I'm missing a hand.
Oh no!
Off it
big
goes! Destiny!
guy. Wow.
Oh, Trent.
It does not work, and as you wave the pearl there trying to cast Identify on the letters, you gain no insight. However, you do notice something. Up close here, you see what looks like a sprig of some kind, like some plant matter within the ink that bubbles up to the surface for a second. The ink is now like in a 3-foot tall serpent kind of warbling back and forth. This thing that bubbles up is then pulled back within, and you hear the sound of like twigs being crushed, and then the wind around you seems to like howl with a loud gale, and the howl sounds personified almost. It's imbued like there's some sort of wind elemental or some sort of strange creature calling to you through the winds. As this happens, the ink starts to recede. Instead, it pulls back, and the large mass begins to collapse in on itself.
What does it say, Trent?
I read the 2 words metal offering, right?
Yeah, 2 words of probably like 12 on the ground.
I'm gonna like grab my bag and reach in, and I have a couple of things that are metal. I have a small knife, which I'm assuming is like a letter opener, probably.
Sure.
And a dagger and belt that I had taken off of one of the bandits or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna throw all of that into the ink. And as I'm doing that, I'll say, it says something about metal offering. I don't know. I'm scared, and I just throw metal into it.
Take a step back. It may explode on you.
I'll throw a dagger in.
I also have a long sword that I could throw in, but I would like Trent to step back so Warren isn't cool.
As you throw them in, you see that the lettering seems to almost glow brighter with the items that you toss in, and the metal is quickly absorbed, though the ink begins to coalesce into like a single little dome there on the ground. And as
Mm-hmm. Would I know if comprehend languages works on Arcana?
Oh, interesting. I would say that it does, but it's still difficult to read.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I'm going to, as I'm taking a half step back, like Zakul is warning me, I'm going to mutter comprehend languages, and then again look at the runes and see if I can make any heads or tails on them this time.
Make another Arcana roll to see if you cast it in time, because the spell's actually finishing.
Alright, I'm going to use my 11 here to take a 17 for Arcana.
Oh. Okay. You are able to cast this in time, and with a 17, I'll say that you're able to read most of it. What follows is a list of different items that seem to have gone into an offering, and you also learn that this is a summoning spell. The items which seem to have been offered up are dark metal. You see that there's also a demon eye, and there's nightshade there, which is also something that you recognize. There's a couple of other things that you don't, like you're unable to read in that brief moment, just given that Arcana is difficult to read. But apparently, if this spell is to be believed, what's being summoned here is an Ink Lord, whatever that might be.
I was able to step back, right?
Yes.
Guys, it's an Ink Lord, and then I'm gonna dive under Zakul's legs.
Okay. As Trent dives under there, the ink all just collapses into itself here, and what was a little dome, maybe half a foot off the ground, goes to being just like a little pool. It goes completely calm, and the winds around you go from being like a howling, a storm that's had branches cracking and leaves being pulled off of trees, turns to just like a dull swish, just constantly going around. And the ink starts to move again, and you watch as something jagged begins to pull through its surface, and you see what looks like the vague shape of a helmet, followed by shoulders, and slowly but surely you see what looks to be some sort of armored suit that begins to come out of the ink.
Perhaps it was not wise to give it metal.
As I've already had my bag open at this point, Illusion, and I'm currently digging through it, looking for something to do, I'm gonna wrap my hand around the wand of secrets that we have, and you said it's 1 use per day.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and expend that one use as this thing is coming from the ground.
To see if there's any sort of hidden areas or anything around you.
Yeah, I think it only has a range of 30 feet, and we're like in the middle of the woods, but I'm panicking, so
30
maybe
feet.
somebody has built a maybe somebody's built a hidey hole here or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna make a roll, and if it's a 20, no. You get nothing. Standing in front of
I
you.
don't let anybody see that I like was playing with it in my backpack. Stand up.
Yeah, you were getting something useful out of your backpack.
At arms, gentlemen. Trent is like waving a wand to hide the demons back.
Standing in front of you is an 8-foot-tall statue of armor with a massive dark metal sword. It has hanging from its different darkened plates what looks like a scarlet tapestry that practically just like moves gently in the wind there, and it turns over towards your group and faces you.
Greetings, Ink Lord.
Who goes there?
When you say this, it extends a hand in your direction, and I need a wisdom saving throw from you, Trent.
Okay.
We gave you an offering of metal.
13.
13.
Oh no, I'm proficient in those. That's a 15.
Give me uno segundo, por favor.
As you kill me.
Your brain sapped and your book is completely covered in ink. You can no longer cast spells.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You fail the DC, and you are held in place and feel as your body starts to crumple in on itself, and you hear the sound of one of your ribs breaking, and the sensation that your windpipe might at any moment be crushed.
Can I try to chop his arm up?
Yeah, like I'm stepping forward at the same time, making
Yeah.
an attack. Like we're gonna break his concentration. I'm hearing ribs breaking behind me. And this guy's doing something to try.
Does anybody speak Infernal?
No.
No.
Okay. Roll initiative, please.
Do I roll?
You still roll, but you're probably going to lose your turn here.
You need a roll for death saving throws, Trent.
Oh wait, I was muted. I
Oh,
speak
good.
Abyssal, which is also Infernal. Does that count?
You speak Infernal and Abyssal?
I
Well,
think
no,
they share
It says
script.
Abyssal, but it says Infernal next to it. So.
Oh,
That
that
just
means
means
they're
they're
written
the
in the same. Yeah, so
Oh.
you unfortunately don't. Though you guys would note that whatever this creature says to you comes in but a few strange words of some sort of language that seeps with evil. And
Is
Oh.
halfling similar to our little?
Sounds about the same.
that's far worse.
Well, can I? How long was Trent's comprehend language running for? Did it?
Oh
did it
yeah,
run
I
out?
used
Oh.
to comprehend languages.
Does that let you understand spoken? Because then you're all good.
It's spoken or things that I can touch, which is
Ah.
why I was running my hand through the.
As you're being choked there in an inky voice that sounds like it's bubbling up from the depths almost, the creature turns to you and says, "The road ends here."
Oh god.
Lock.
Fuck.
It is your turn, Merton. What do you want to
Okay.
do?
I already have my hook blade. I'm gonna summon my shadow blade offhand, and I'll make a single attack with my main hand,
Okay,
which is this. I'm gonna probably try to slice for his arm.
sure.
Oh, okay. 17 plus 6, 23.
You miss. As you step forward to attack it, the thing takes its free hand. There's a large two-handed claymore that it holds in a sort of black encrusted gauntlet, and it simply raises the sword with incredible speed, and with the back of the handle just hits your blade out of the way.
Okay, that's my turn.
Oh.
I guess I would have had to move up here.
Tessa, it's your turn.
I am trying to read which one of these spells are better.
Okay. Take your time. You
Yeah.
might need it.
Just prolonging the death.
All right.
If I never end my turn, we can't all die, right?
Yeah.
Trent is slowly dying, but
Welcome to being
Right.
level 4.
Fuck. I would like to cast protection from evil and good on Trent.
Oh, that might do stuff for him.
Please.
Let's see.
Hey,
Let's
I have
see.
that
Let's
too.
see.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Trent, please.
Hmm. Ah, okay. Okay. When you cast the spell on Trent, you feel the magic working. However, he seems to still be stuck by whatever it is.
Son of a bitch. I would like to inspire Trent. And
Okay.
back up, just a touch.
What do you say to inspire Trent?
Oh. Don't die.
Okay. Trent, while you're gasping for air, Tessa tells you not to die, and for some reason that makes you feel like you can do something. Let's see here. The creature begins his turn. I would say... You're like a fresh youngin'. He's gonna pull you to the side. Your body moves, like dragging along there. And he will shuffle you 15 feet in this direction. And let's see. He will make 2 attacks on you, Merton.
You just like dragging Trent around like a doll?
He's levitating like a foot off the ground.
Oh.
What's the leg? It's a tender leg.
Let's see. Okay.
It's a tender leg.
Do I drop my crutches?
Yeah, they would fall to the ground. Merton, does an 18 or a 25 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
25.
To both of those?
Yes. Of course.
It's just yes.
Jesus Christ, you're gonna drop your weapon here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that shit's gone.
You take... Shit fucker. I need more dice.
No.
What? You need more damage dice?
We're gonna roll these instead. Okay.
A very good sign there, Will.
You take 23 damage from one of the slashes.
Just from one of them?
From one of them.
Fuck.
And now he takes another slash.
The second one hit, right?
Yeah, they both hit.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So 3 plus 13, 16, 20...
Why? Why
You
was
take
he so
25
much? Where did he
damage.
come from?
From the second hit?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, guys. The undead death saving throws.
Are you down,
Are you-
Merton?
Well, 23 and then 25? Yeah.
Okay.
48 damage?
The creature steps over in your direction, Zakul, as in 2 swipes of its sword, Merton is dropped to the ground. And it is your turn, Trent. At the beginning of your turn, or sorry, rather, at the end of your turn here, Trent, you can try to break out by making another wisdom saving throw if you'd like.
You're
Huh.
inspired. Oh, actually, I don't think inspiration can go to that. Can it?
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
Oh!
do you need it?
I'm gonna roll it. See
Yeah,
what
it
this thing has done.
It's a D6.
That is a 25 wisdom save.
By sheer force of will, you break the magical bonds that are levitating and pulling you around. You feel what's like snapping threads, almost like you were a marionette being dragged across that are suddenly severed and you have control of your body again. You fall down to the ground and crumple near the shore of the rapids here. And, with your shit leg, you are not necessarily prone, but kneeling there, I guess.
I'd probably just go prone. That's Trent. I mean, he's not a stalwart individual.
I mean,
He's
are you
not gonna,
possuming
fight
right
with
now?
me.
No?
No, I'd probably just hit the ground and then roll over and prop myself up on my arms to look at what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I forgot something. Undeads have a thing for when they drop unconscious the first time, they're still up.
Oh, baby.
That's on your website.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Like a orcish thing?
It's like a orcish
No.
relentless. But
No, I
I,
think that you're thinking of something else. Give it a
Am
quick
I?
look. Can't have injuries. When you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. You can use this feature again after a long rest. So do you want to do that and drop to 1 hit point instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have 1 hit point.
Say that. Yeah.
Now wait,
I was imitating Will.
Will,
What?
was your offhand concentration?
I'm not even gonna roll.
Yeah, he has to roll like better than a nat 20 to keep that. If it took 40 something damage.
Zakul, it's your turn, as at the end of Trent's turn, he broke out of the spell.
Okay, I do have a question since I would know Zenkus. Does he have range options at all? Like, does he carry a bow, or to my knowledge, he's only
does.
melee.
I think he's a crossbow, isn't he?
To my
I have
knowledge, he's only melee.
spells.
Well, like spells, but you're melee for weapons, right?
Yes,
Because
melee
yeah,
for weapons, and then I have spells.
Okay, so I will take one step over. Zenkus, cover from the left. We'll attack him from 3 sides. And I will use my channel divinity.
Zenkus leaps into the water. I'm out, bitches. Okay, channel divinity.
He says in halfling.
These are all action. I don't have a bonus action thing, I believe. Oh, I do actually. I'm gonna cast Compel Duel on this Ink Warrior.
Oh.
Listen,
Hell
I
duel.
think you're gonna die in 1 turn, but don't let me defeat
So that's a wisdom save from him?
It is a Wisdom save against my 13.
Okay. He rolls a wisdom save of 26.
Okay. Well, I can't keep him here, so
L-U-L.
Zenkus, aid me. 26? Jesus.
Dude, wisdom is.
Is that your turn?
Ooh.
Yeah, that is my turn. I stepped one over and channel.
It is your turn, Zenkus. What do you want to do?
Okay, I'm gonna attack him.
Go for it.
Knowing that a 23 did not hit.
I'm gonna use my silver rapier.
Okay.
More stuff for him to absorb.
I know. That's only. No, that's only a 19.
Yeah, only, right?
You hit. Nope. No, you miss. Nope. You hit. Sorry.
Wait,
Oh.
what?
He has
So
19
confused.
then, I think.
Is it because it's silver?
No, you hit him.
don't know.
You don't know.
You may roll damage.
What, is he only damage from small people?
Only midgets can do damage.
Only midgets.
We call them little people or gremlins. Thank you very
It
much.
couldn't have. It couldn't have been because Merton attacked with a Shadow Blade too, so which would have been psychic damage. So
No, I didn't attack with Shadow. I summoned Shadow Blade.
Oh, okay.
I attacked,
attacked
with
with his
my
pact
pact weapon.
Is that considered magical?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Same deal.
8 piercing.
8 piercing damage. Okay. Your blade manages to get past the armor, stabbing into this creature, and when you pull it out, it's covered in like an ink that just drips off of it onto the ground, and the thing turns and faces you. It seems that you've grabbed its attention.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid, little one. I will guard you.
Be afraid.
Merton's like, just cough. His spleen's on the ground. Be afraid.
Very afraid.
His spleen's in the ground somewhere else already.
Yep.
Their initiative.
Is that the end of your turn, Zenkus?
Oh god.
Bonus action.
Spiritual weapon. Does it make an attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's surrounded.
He's using the big die. He can't fail now.
Oh yeah, you can.
I'm so confident.
Believe in yourself.
Can't remember. Do I use my spell hit on this blade or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be what, wisdom and proficiency.
Whew,
It's
that was a
only-
good one.
Only 15.
I was doing a dance. I summoned it up from the depths.
You finally got that burp out?
17 misses.
It was a 15, but okay.
Sorry, 15 misses. Roll initiative, boys.
Oh lord have mercy.
Okay, I didn't get as high this time.
You need
Thank
another
God.
one?
Okay, wait, where is it? I can't see a path to roll.
Really, Mom's 7.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, he is at 9. Okay, we have a chance.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
I got one higher than last time.
Not that, I guess. Could have all been before him.
I hit, as I rolled, I hit like 3 of your guys' dice.
So he screwed us up too. Just kidding. Go ahead, Will, I think?
Looks like you're first. Go for it, Merton.
Why? Ooh. This guy's not gonna fail a save, is he?
Don't fuck up.
You never know.
I'm disengaging. I need to get out of here. I'm disengaging and running.
Okay.
I want to cast a spell, but if it fails, I'm fucking ducked.
Fucking done.
Oh wait, I can't go in the water.
If you're gonna move through the water, there will be
was
checks.
Not, yep, no.
Ooh, okay. You just nope right the fuck out.
That hurt.
He's at 1 health, so it's fair. But
Is that your turn? Got anything
Yeah.
else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Looks like next up it's your turn, Trent. What do you want to do? You get to have a turn now.
Oh, Jesus.
First of all, as I'm laying here and can't really move, I only have one choice, and that's to look at this thing. If I ever experienced anything with summoning spells, in my studies, do I know anything about how they work? Can I cancel the summon? Can I break this?
Roll Arcana.
Obvious.
Let's see what you know about summons.
Your turn.
that
Tell us what you
wonders.
A 17 Arcana.
17. Okay. You know a fair amount when it comes to summoning spells. You're aware that they draw on different ingredients, calling things from other planes, sometimes constructing them out of nothing. You don't know which this is. You don't have enough info or know enough about the spell to know which category this falls into. As far as dealing with the thing in front of you, you do know that there are magics which can banish things that are not local to the plane or things like that, but you also know that that's much higher magic, so those are kind of out of your reach. If there is a condition to get this thing to leave, you're not sure what it is, though there is a possibility that that's the case when it comes to summoned creatures.
Knowing that, I am going to use my action to cast the spell Detect Magic. See if I can see anything. Oops, that's my arcane rest on my spell slot.
You detect a strong locus of necromancy that comes from this creature. It just emanates and oozes necromancy.
I don't sense anything else, from where it was summoned or anything.
No. And that ink spot on the ground is now just that. It looks like somebody just spilled some ink on the ground.
Okay.
And the magic writing has all faded and everything.
Okay. So I'll cast that, and then I'll say, first I'll look over at Merton and, wave my hand in front of my face like I'm drinking something. And then I'll look back at the party, and,
He's
actually,
gonna gas.
I won't just wave my hand like that. I'll actually take a potion bottle out of my bag that I have and like wave it in the air, and then like hold it out towards him like I want to give it to him, and then
I got it just from the hand gesture. You're good.
I'll look back at the creature and say, he's pure necromancy. Try radiant things. That's all I got. That's more than 6 seconds. So.
Tessa heard that one.
Okay. Is that your turn? You can move at half speed, given that you can crawl around. Yeah,
okay.
You can slug your way around the battlefield.
I will crawl 15 feet over here towards Merton, and I'll still be holding that potion bottle out towards him.
Just laying there on the ground.
I'm shaking my head, no.
Take it!
Alright, Zakul, it's your turn.
Okay, as a bonus action, I am going to cast Shield of Faith on my buddy Zenkus here,
Okay.
giving him 2 additional AC from my concentration.
You now have a 2% chance of not being hit by this creature. Is that your turn, Zakul?
That 18 he rolled on me was actually a 2.
And on my actual action, I will attack him.
Okay.
Zoom, guide me, and I'll smash down with my hammer. Go to plus 10 to hit. This is a 20 to hit.
You hit him.
And my damage is... It's a D8. 1D8.
Channel Divinity just gets you a bonus to hit.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, as I hit him for 6 damage, I am going to use my Divine Smite, expelling a spell slot and hitting him. For an extra 2D? Hold on.
It depends on the size of the slot you burn.
I only have one first slot, so it's 1D8. Additional 1D8.
Isn't it 2?
Divine Smite, when I hit someone in melee, I can expand spell slots to do 2D8. Oh, okay, it's 1 additional per slot level.
Don't worry, buddy, I gotcha.
Doesn't it do extra if he's a certain thing?
Well, we'll see. This is 11 radiant damage plus the 12 physical bludgeoning damage.
Okay. When you swing with the sword here, the creature doesn't look like it makes any attempt to stop you here, just taking the blow. But as you hit, there's a sort of blinding light that bursts out from your blade, and the creature actually staggers for the first time, showing some weakness. And it like kneels over to one side and then turns to face you instead, and you can see what looks like a large portion of the armor that you've actually broken through. The plates have been sundered, and they seem to move about almost like there's a warbling mass of ink underneath that they float on, like pieces of a raft on the ocean.
Just to straighten that out, I meant to say 10 bludgeoning, not 12.
12? Okay. Down to 10. Alright.
10 bludgeoning, 12 radiant.
There's also a burning smell and something chemical in the air, and you see what looks like dark billows of smoke that come off of the area that you hit him.
That appears to be a vulnerability. Aim for the same spot.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Tessa, you're up.
I would like to guiding bolt this creature.
Okay.
Vulnerability. Let me find what plus it is to hit real quick. Please! No! Yes!
Oh, good.
Ah!
Right.
The 21!
Yelling at your die works, apparently.
The 21!
21 does hit.
Yes!
46. Okay, let me get my D6. You. I gotta zoom in. This is radiant. Did I only roll 3?
Yeah, you only grabbed 3 of them.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay, 16 radiant damage. And the next attack on him is
No,
an
that's
advantage.
17.
I can count. That's 17. 17 radiant damage. And the next attack on him is an advantage.
Okay.
Bolt.
Let's see.
Thank you, Jimmy. My agent eyes.
Well, if you're alive, Zenkis, you have a pretty big blow coming up.
There is a blast that that echoes across this creature here, and when you hit him, you watch as a portion of one of his pauldrons goes flying off, like one of his shoulder pieces breaks right off, and you see a whole splatter of ink that goes flying out, and he staggers for a moment there, and you see that he looks over in your direction as well there, Tessa.
I would like to inspire myself as a bonus action.
Can't inspire
I don't
yourself.
think you can
Ah!
inspire
I
yourself.
lied. I would like to inspire Zenkis.
Okay.
Use that for
Zenkis,
your
you are
AC, buddy.
inspired?
Use that for your AC. Save yourself.
That's how she inspires Zinkus. I would like to inspire you.
Can you roll the inspiration thing after you've seen the number?
Yes.
Or is it before?
You can see after to see if it hits.
Because you can also add it to damage, right? It's calling you Valor.
Yeah.
Well, if you roll like shit, then you have a d6 to add.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
The heavy hammer is about to be swung. Prepare
The
thyself.
pause is really terrifying.
He's basically just picking who he wants to send unconscious.
I'm not going for
I'm pretty sure he
unconscious
can
here.
outright kill me.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He's going for the one-shot kill. He's gonna phase through this wall and behead.
That would
Yeah.
be-
He's actually a ghost.
that'd be
Surprise,
the way to go.
motherfucker!
Some fries, motherfucker.
He's like a ghost undead. He just comes through the wall.
Just
Like,
slashed into the
hello.
river, never to be seen again. Yeah.
You hear Mr. Child's voice. Oh, hello.
I would fucking
Who
lose.
does that?
Then I'll play Mr. Chow as my next character.
Okay,
you have to
I
find-
need
Go
a
before.
Constitution saving throw from you three.
Breath attack.
I'm about to die outright. I
Breath
can't.
Ink attacked.
Wait, why'd I grab my token? That's
The
wrong.
DC is 18.
Oh, please.
Remember your inspiration if you have it. Well, it's not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
help
I
you.
did not make that. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Modded is the word.
Oh, no.
I see a
Yeah.
Yeah, I
pass and
failed
2
it.
fails. Okay. Okay.
I can't protect you from AoE attacks. I'm sorry. That's not how my
You're not high
fighting
enough
style
level yet.
Yeah, my fighting
Eventually,
style
okay.
only is directed attacks.
Okay. Zenkas and Tessa, both of you are knocked prone as a wave comes out from this creature. He extends a hand after planting his sword deep into the ground and waves it forward like a general would, summoning an army from behind him, letting loose the cavalry. And sure enough, you see what looks like a black wave of like warbling smoke that comes out and just bursts over from behind him around his armor and waves out across you guys. As for you, Trent, you can see from your spot here behind you what looks like all the trees' leaves here just being like torn from it, and Tessa getting hit with like a blast of some dark energy. And I'm gonna tell you guys the total damage. You will take half of it, Zakul. And Zakul, you're not knocked prone since you passed the
Wait.
save.
I'm ready to like straight up die because I think this is what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
This is
40
going to
damage.
kill me. Yeah.
Jesus.
We'll see.
He's like, let me dig up 3, no 4, maybe 5 dice. Yeah, mid roll.
I'll roll once.
Hold on, hold on.
He's rolled, God.
I hear a lot of jangling, like he's picking up a couple dice.
He rolled it, picked it up, rolled it, picked it up, rolled it again.
Okay.
Oh, he's doing it again. Oh, and he rolled so good. Oh, God. Holy, he's rolling amazing.
Stop,
Is it?
dude! Stop!
That's
Why?
a little scary right now.
Why you do that?
You take half of this, Zakul. 48 damage.
I'm dead out.
48.
I am dead.
Dead?
I have 23 max HP.
What?
Yeah, I rolled really shitty.
That's
Holy
wait, did you roll health?
Yeah, come on now. I always roll health.
Our whole table has been rolling health.
Oh yeah.
Everyone here has been.
Oh,
Okay. Zenkas and Zakul, are either of you guys up?
I am.
What? So what's the total? You only said the half value.
No, he
No,
said
no,
there's
no,
more.
Total
that-
It's 48, and it's halved for
48.
whoever beat the DC, which was Zakul.
So you took 48 damage, Zenkas.
I'm pretty sure you.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I'm dead outright.
Oh my fucking god. Mr. fucking Chow isn't fucking around.
Where the fuck did this guy come from? Jesus.
So
Wait.
40
Okay. I want to ask the question afterward.
I'm not dead outright.
Oh, god.
Okay. Zenkus goes down. Tessa's soul is ripped from her body, and Zakul, what about you? Are you up?
I'm up, standing, at 13 health. Like,
Okay.
about a third of the way down.
That is the creature's turn, and Zenkas, I guess a death saving throw.
One sec. I'm taking my spiritual weapon off.
Wait, so Tesla's just gone. Like she's
My body
disappeared?
there at least in my book.
Yep, you tumble down to the ground there.
Well, I hope someone keeps.
Oh!
Nope.
Okay, so one fail. Everybody please roll initiative. Tessa, you don't need to roll in this case.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't be sorry. I was ready to
He
die.
rolled like a god, apparently.
I was
How do you do
watching the
48
fucking dice.
damage.
I'm
He rolled,
always
like,
ready to
a bunch
die.
of
The last 5 d6s I watched him roll was like
6
over
and 5
30
and 4.
damage.
This is why I don't watch people roll dice, man. It makes me too nervous.
It's just like 5, 5, 5.
I saw a lot of 6s.
6-5, 6-4, and then a 4, I think.
Stop, please, please. This is hurting me even more. I would have
Zakul,
no
it's your
chance of
turn.
surviving.
Okay, well, at advantage, I suppose. I'm
Oh yeah, it
attacking.
is an
I'm not inspired though. Pretty sure I'm gonna hit him. I think.
Don't say that. Okay, well.
Yeah, it's a 28 to hit.
You hit.
The advantage helped because I would have rolled a 2.
Maybe an 18.
You see that he even attempts to like block your blade there and move out of the way, but fails to do so.
Yeah, he's still dead, but did something useful.
DA Whisperer.
Oh, he's smiting him as well?
Do it.
That was a weird roll, but I'll
That wasn't
count
a
it
roll.
anyway. Oh, okay. I'm okay with it re-rolling.
Yeah. Not the first one. The first one was fine, but yeah, those didn't roll.
Alright, so this is 7 radiant,
Okay.
12 bludgeon.
Okay. Ooh. How badly do you look right now?
I'm pretty rough. Like, I lost 2/3 of my health in one breath. Even while hiding behind my shield, so I assume my shield took a brunt of that.
Yeah, okay. It is your turn, Zenkus. Oh, sorry, unless Sakul, you got something else.
The bonus action stuff I can do. I can't do another spell if I'm still concentrating. Right? Wait, no, concentration's gone because Shield of Faith guy's not.
Zenkus is on the, yeah.
Can I still do? I can cast. Well,
If you got bonus action stuff, it might be. Might
I
be a
don't
good
have.
idea.
I don't get Healing Word though, so the
Ah.
bonus action stuff I have doesn't really help him. What? Do your monsters attack down creature like people like Zenkus being on the floor? He would consider me a
Sometimes.
threat and not like. He will coup de grace this guy next to me.
Sometimes. Yeah, it just depends on what you're up against. You know, like an assassin contracted to kill a guy is obviously going to be thorough about it in combat and then dip.
Actually, it doesn't even matter because I don't have spell slots left, so that is my turn actually.
Okay. Zenkus, a death saving throw, please. Do not roll a 1.
Roll 20, kid.
Yeah, roll a
You
20.
one.
That'd be
I'll-
pretty
You
sick.
could die with
Check.
me. I'm okay.
Technically, if I roll a 1, my lucky still kicks in because it's a saving.
Does it really?
Ah.
Go ahead and roll a 1 then.
Roll
Roll a 1, then a 20.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
Okay,
good.
1 pass,
Okay.
1 fail. Trent, it is your turn. What do you want to do? Panically makes the potion drinking gesture.
After seeing that Merton has no interest in taking the potion from me,
Gonna run over to
respecting his
Tessa.
religion, first, I'm like under complete cover here behind this rock, right? Like
Yeah, you can't see
me.
what's going on over there. You can hear swords clashing and that's it.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself,
Ooh, okay.
And then I'm gonna crawl out like a little bit and like see if he makes any indication that he sees me.
He
Like,
does
can
not.
he's-
It looks like he's locked in battle with Zakul.
Then I will crawl over to Tessa, and it's a full action to use an item, right?
Yes,
Okay.
unless it
So
says
I'll
otherwise.
just crawl over here
Okay.
invisibly.
Invisibly. Merton, you are up. The 1 HP boy.
5, 10, 15. I can see him from here, yep.
Yep.
I will be casting my last spell, Scorching Ray.
Ooh.
So,
When did you get
think-
Scorching Ray?
I get it. It comes with the Fiend. Get it?
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's 3 spell attacks coming.
Okay, I'll tell you if they hit.
That would be a no.
It's gonna be a total whiff. I can feel it.
That would really suck.
Oh!
my God.
Are we 3 for 3?
Will, please don't.
I'm sorry.
Don't that one here. Oh.
Plus 6, 18?
You hit.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Roll a d20 for that.
Yeah, I don't think I get to do that.
Oh, hey! Okay.
Ooh,
12 fire damage.
That was
And,
super value.
bitchin'.
I don't think sneak attack works on spells. I have no idea. No, okay.
Some weapon attacks.
Just a brain thought there.
Unless it's a finesse spell.
And that's all I can do, so I'm moving back.
Okay, Merton.
I hope you know he's gonna crash through that rock and slice your head off if I go down.
If he crashes through that rock, he deserves everything he does to me.
Gonna lop my head off, run over to you, take a second attack, and lop your head off.
Yeah, I'm
And,
sorry. I
and you
tried.
see Trent on the ground there, like, Tessa, please drink the potion. Tessa,
What do you want me to do?
as this big guy just walks up behind him and stabs him in the back of his
I
head.
did what I could. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, we should try that. That sounds like a fucking lot of fun. We're gonna.
What god were they saying in Twitch chat?
Nothing.
Oh, why am I so worried?
All I know is Lucian read something. It was like,
Yeah, why am I so worried?
devious laughter.
Zakul, I need you to make for me a charisma saving throw.
Oh god, he's capturing your body.
I'm the worst paladin. It's 11.
You fail.
Am I trying? Am I turning around and cleaving Trent in half?
No, no.
Oh,
Trent, you see what looks like a, almost like a portal to the stars, like a picture frame that opens up between you and Zakul, and it goes to like some starry night, some strange galaxy. The creature here takes a step towards you, Zakul, and waves a hand, and you hear some sort of weird magical shimmering behind you before it says a single word to you in some sort of foreign language and kicks you in the chest, and you fall backwards and watch as you pass by some sort of magical threshold, and you see what looks like a rectangle in front of you, like a window to the world that you were just in. The Ink Lord standing there looking at you, and then the window just closes.
oh my god, he captured you as a princess, didn't he?
I'm Astro in prison.
Do I understand
I'm
what
his
he
prince.
said?
You do.
With
He,
Comprehend languages.
as the thing disappears, you see that Zakul is no longer there at all, and all the creature said was simple. And after that, let's see. You're donezo, you're donezo, you're donezo. Time to find Merton. The creature will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll come up to you, Merton, and that's it for his turn.
Oh, thank God.
Table talk. This is really bad if I'm actually somewhere else because we need that diamond to save us.
Okay.
I
Let's
have
see
it on
here.
me.
Roll initiative, everybody.
Oh no. Oh
Even
no.
me?
No.
He has rolled a 16.
Oh. Come on.
What are we rolling?
Daddy needs a high
Oh, what are you guys
number.
rolling? Oh, he rolled a
No.
6. Oh! You're just as dead.
I've had a 15 initiative for like 3 rounds in a row.
If it would
now.
have just stayed on the 13, it would have been fine.
Okay.
Bye, Martin.
The creature will make an attack on you, Merton. Bringing its sword up, he swings
Please
at you.
miss.
Yeah,
Please miss.
Does a 15 hit.
exactly.
Fuck.
Shit.
Damn it, why didn't I inspire you?
You take plus... Oh god. 15, 23... plus... You take 28 damage, Merton.
Feels so good.
Are you insta-dead?
No, but I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Went from 1 health and took 28.
He swings and sends you to the ground. And after that, let's see here.
I can't see Trent. He's invisible.
Yeah, he's gonna make a roll to see if he can find him, because he can count.
You lie.
The creature takes a step around and walks up over here, and you can see that he scans the area, looking around, and as he does so, seems to find nothing. It is your turn, Trent. What do you want to do?
At least I used that one on that and not the next death save.
How obvious is it that Tessa is completely gone? Like, would I have to make a check? Like, would I have to spend my action to tell that? Would I have to make a check to tell that? Like, what?
You can make a cursory perception check to see. It won't cost you anything.
It's a 9.
Okay. You're not sure if she is straight up dead or not. You can, like, spend your action to check again if you want, or spend a bonus action to do so. That's up to you.
Nope, if I think that she's alive, or has a chance of being alive, I'm going to spend my action pouring this augmented health potion that I have into her mouth and trying to get her to swallow it.
Okay. You go over and hold the potion, and nothing seems to happen. And you realize that she has no pulse and does not come back.
The potion's like gone, right?
Yeah, it's like you've poured half of it into her mouth before realizing there's nothing that can be done.
Okay. In that case, I'll try and scoop up whatever amount of the liquid I can, like, back out of her mouth, like, you know, pinching her cheeks and trying to, like, bottle it back up.
Sure.
Because that's the only kind of healing that I have, and I need to get somebody up. I can't fight this thing.
Okay.
And then after I've gotten everything I can, I'll crawl over towards Zenkus.
Okay.
If I can, I'll pour it into his mouth, but otherwise, I think it's an action to do so, and I already tried on
It
Tessa.
is, but you can roll stealth to see if this guy notices you, and you have advantage.
Okay. We used the big bet both times.
He has a
Did I
decent
inspire
passive
you at all?
perception.
I can't remember.
You're gonna need that reroll, son.
Oh.
You and Will. Jesus Christ.
That's a 3.
We're not the best at rolling the dice.
The creature turns to face you, and perhaps blessedly, or maybe not so much, you can understand it when it looks directly at you on the ground there and says, "Found you." Is that your turn?
And then he shat his pants.
Just like this horrible
And then he
diarrhea
smelled you.
burst.
He heard you, then he smelled you.
Yeah, I don't have any bonus actions.
Okay. Zenkas?
I'll take a drink of my my liquor.
Nice, okay. Zenkas, it's your turn.
You're hoping for here like a nat 20, so you get up and kill the guy.
That'd be awesome.
A drunken rage.
You have 2 passes and 1 fail. And Merton? Dice
my
gods?
turn. Yeah, because those... I know what those are. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
there you go.
Happy
See, where were
Meal.
those rolls earlier?
Yeah, where was it for the attack roll? I don't know.
Scorching thing.
Okay. I believe that's it. Zakul, there is nothing for you. On your turn, you continue to float without gravity, just barreling through space.
We need that level 20 monk to come out of his cave and just lay down some whoop ass.
Everybody please roll initiative.
Okay.
This,
Low number for
Except me,
initiative.
right?
High number.
Except you, yes.
Thanks.
mark on the
Oh,
gentle
jeez, that
swan.
five.
Oh,
Walks
good,
over
okay.
and, like,
Yep.
one
My number
touches
was
it.
not low.
I'm dead.
Where's our one touch man? And out of nowhere, a goblin named Fogfist appears.
The thing steps over and makes a swing of its sword at you. Invisible as you are, he rolls with disadvantage. Well, that's a nat 20, but the other one is a 17 plus, so I assume that hits.
His
Yeah.
AC's 11. It's written on his character.
Trent, how much do you have for HP?
Not enough to survive. I'm unconscious at the very least. I have 21 hit points.
5 plus... So 16...
Is that the minimum damage you do? 16?
Sorry.
No, he's like, no, that's not the minimum.
I feel like the monk was this guy. You know what I mean?
The monk was
You
this
take
guy.
26
The monk
damage.
summoned this guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm unconscious.
After that, Trent, a death saving throw.
Or maybe this guy's just really
Oh!
good friends to capture.
Is that janked?
Look at it.
That is some absolute.
Oh, that's
bullshit.
horse.
That's so mean.
Yeah, look at it like when the table's full. Like zoom all the way in. That looks jank to me.
It is
It
jank.
is jank.
That's
jank,
what's
but it
so
was
shitty
close
because
to
But
it
being
look at what it
20.
should have fallen on.
Because
It
it
was
could have been
gonna-
a 20.
Yeah,
right?
it was gonna fall.
That's the
on 20.
direction it was falling, and then it just stopped.
Yep.
given that your whole party is probably dead, I'll give you that 20.
Okay.
I'll give you the 1 HP turn if you can do anything to this guy. So
I'm gonna pour the remnants of my potion into Zencast's mouth.
just put it in his hands.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna pour. Now, for clarity's sake, this is a potion that you gave us a little while back, and I don't have any idea what it did. I used Identify on it, and you told me that it was a potion of healing, but it was augmented somehow. And I had no idea what the augment was, so I just recorded it as Potion of Healing Augment.
Oh, fuck me. Where did you guys get that?
Let's
I
see.
want to say that we got it.
If I know where
That
it came from,
is-
I'll probably remember what it is.
Where it came from?
We got a glass potion from the HyperX Beast Camp.
Oh, I think I remember.
It was
I
in
think
one
it
of
was-
the 2 backpacks.
Oh, is that it? What was
Yeah,
the thing we found while walking on the beach? And Trent like looked out into the water and found a chest, and we opened it. Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Because this is like this is super long ago.
Oh.
Call me an elephant.
This was back on the
He
Misty
rolled a nat
Island.
20 while we were on the beach, and we
I rolled
looked
a nat-
off into the water, and there was a little wrecked ship. And there's a chest in there that we picked open, and that was what was in.
Okay. Zencast, you heal. I just rolled your heal, 6 HP. When you come back, you have a strange sensation, and Trent, you see that Zencast has grown gills on the side of his neck.
Healing potion of water breathing. Beautiful.
Into the water, swim away.
It is your turn, Zencast. You are next to this thing. It makes eye contact with you as Trent gives you the potion. Trent is next to you, like, beyond crippled.
Laying there at 1 HP,
It's
visibly.
It's your turn, Zencast. What do you want to do?
Give it hell, kid.
That's
That's what I say. I say that in halfling. Boom.
How damaged does it look?
It's seeping ink from a bunch of spots. Given this thing's non-normal physiology, you don't know if that's like, a scratch or if it's near death.
Or that could just be, it could be aroused if it's seeping.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Those could be sexual juices, you never know.
Jesus Christ. Guys. Sorry, Twitch.
You don't have to say sorry about that.
No, halfling's about to be violated right now.
I'm gonna have to roll to attack it.
Don't worry, we'll fade to black if you guys all die.
I'm gonna roll to attack it.
Okay, go for it.
I'm also gonna use my channel divinity.
I don't know what that does, but okay.
Necrotic damage.
It does necrotic.
No!
This extra.
That won't hit. It's only 13.
Okay.
That's a
He's
miss,
he's a
correct?
test cleric.
Yep, that's a miss.
Alright, I'll summon my spiritual weapon, at least my second level spell slot. I'll try and have it stab him.
Okay.
Oh, God. We deserve to die at this point. There's so many twos.
Guys,
All the twos.
I just realized we're bringing Monday back to its former glory.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Zencast, is that your turn?
Unfortunately, yes.
Merton, make a death save, please.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh? Uh-oh. 1 and 1.
1 and 1. Roll initiative, friends.
That was supposed to be my initiative.
Lucky for you, I have rolled a 7.
Am I just still in space regardless?
Yeah, you're floating through space.
Is this for 10 turns?
You don't have to worry about anything.
You're having a grand old time.
Can he breathe in space?
Just
Yeah.
10 turns
Okay,
later,
my
I come
die
back.
janked again, by the way.
Let me see.
Where's that actually a 3?
Oh, it's a
You die,
3.
kid.
Okay, that one.
Where did this guy roll?
It's hard to tell with the.
Oh, look, he's way down there. That's good.
Well, I'm lower, so.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, my big die's over there. That's why.
You gotta start rolling the big dice. Zencast, it looks like it's your turn first.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm attacking.
Do so.
Hey!
Oh,
That's with my rapier plus 23.
that does hit. Roll damage.
And since is Jimmy being prone beside me still count as sneak attack for sneak attack?
I'm threatening.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
I am a threatening creature.
I don't think it
Can't
says
take his
anything
eyes
about
off
if he's prone or not. He's conscious, so yeah, sure. He's distracted by the slug thing next to him.
The slug.
That extra damage I got you.
That's 8.
8 damage. Okay.
Just go down.
I need to make a roll for him.
Please die.
And you roll a
Please
one.
don't roll like anything over a
Just
5.
die.
Okay. Is that your
I
turn?
asked nicely.
I'm
It's
making the
concentration.
weapon attack.
Do so.
Ooh, she got the weird, creepy spectral hand thing going on in your stream.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really weird.
Symbolizing our ghosts that are
Only
about to
14.
be.
14 misses.
Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. After Zencast, Merton, it's your turn.
Skippity-doo-dah. Oh, so soon again. Oh no.
So soon.
All right. 2
Woo!
and 1. That's
Hey.
good.
You want
Almost
to?
had it.
The creature is up next, and he will.
Oh fuck!
Let's see. I think it is time that we end your lives here.
Hold
Oh,
on, no. He's standing on the tile that I am. Can I like land back on top of him?
Yes, you fall through.
That's where I was. So
You re-entry through the air and just crush them.
He's going to make a swing at Trent and Zencast here. You guys get 1 each. Trent?
Oh god.
he can't miss.
I think, you know what? He literally can't miss unless he gets a 1 here.
Yeah.
I have
think so.
shield.
Oh! Okay, never mind. He rolls a 16.
Which is my AC with shield.
Oh,
oh my
fuck.
god!
This is wrong. Well, you go down.
You
He doesn't
should
even tell
roll
you
the
the
damage.
damage.
Oh, yeah, you're close,
I'm,
right?
I'm at 1 HP, so
Here we go.
28 damage
What's your
kills me.
max HP?
Oh!
27.
16, 19 plus 5. So 24.
I'm just unconscious.
Okay.
Roll another
Uh,
janked
the,
20.
the swing I use, Zencast, is a 20, not natural. And you take
Oh my god.
2 plus... so that's 10, and then 15, so 20 damage.
I'm just unconscious.
Okay. After that, Trent, it's your turn.
Damn.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
2 fails.
Oh.
Okay. Roll initiative, everybody.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna fucking put my hand on the mouse anymore.
Wait, doesn't
The creature
that
has
one, like,
rolled a
instantly
3.
Kill you?
Huh?
Doesn't that one instantly kill you?
No, it just
No,
gives you
it's
2
not.
fails.
You.
So
The
if
death
you've already got a
save
fail,
is totally rigged towards players living.
yeah.
First of all, you have like a 55% chance of succeeding based on rolls, and then a 5% chance of just auto-saving and coming back at 1 HP. Whereas the 5% on the other side is just lose 2 saves.
We'll point out I've been out of commission for 4 turns. I
Yep.
don't know what imprisonment spell this is.
Either Zencast or Merton, whoever feels like rolling the death save first,
You just both do it.
go for it.
But at the same time,
Simultaneous!
You rolled the small die,
Fine.
that's gonna do you in.
Ooh,
2
baby,
passes.
this-
well,
Are any of you stable?
I'm stable now.
Trent, roll.
Now
Merton
he's gonna
is.
sniff you out because he knows you're stable.
Yeah, for whatever being stable means, it means he's gonna come kill me. I'm
1-2.
stable.
That's terrifying, Jimmy, to be honest, because your next roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my portent as trackers.
The creature takes 2 steps back, and suddenly you feel something so cool. You are dropped back into space. Where is your little guy? There you are.
Oh, the one-on-one of ages.
Oh, Jesus.
He was
And as you
keeping
appear, he turns to say something to you when you reappear, and with his hand sweeps out and motions across the ground, and when you return, you see all of your companions laying there dead in pools of blood, and then he holds his blade up towards you. And roll initiative.
Fuck.
Oh my god, I'm rooting for you, man.
Are we all rolling?
Yes,
Whoever
because some
needs
of you, whoever hasn't stabilized or whatever.
Waste the low roll on initiatives. Well done.
Wait, shit, did I roll? Because I was at 3
Uh-oh.
before. No, here we go. I roll a 10.
Player goes first, right?
Yep, player goes first.
Jesus.
That's the fucking squeakiest shit.
Oh my god.
You hear Jimmy talking about the play goes first.
Players are
He knows me. He knows me.
That's Illusion's rule.
Yep. Well, it looks like.
No! That's janked! It definitely isn't. But, oh my god. That's an 11 to hit. These rolls are
Wait,
garbage.
you're attacking him?
Well, yeah, I stepped
Oh, I
forward.
thought that
to-
was initial. Okay, wait. So Zenkest, did you roll death?
Yeah, I got 17.
Okay, all right. And then next up, Sakul, what did you roll?
I stepped forward and that one to my attack roll, so that was an 11.
Okay, so you whiff.
No.
He's gonna make a couple attacks on you.
Oh, dear God.
Okay.
This is the end.
This is the,
Oh my fuck. I don't know if those show up on the screen.
No. Oh wait, yes.
They're both pretty
3 and 4.
shitty rolls, is
3
what
and
they
4.
are.
You rolled shit.
Sakul, does a 14 or a 15 hit?
They do not.
I just rolled a 3 and a 4.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank god.
Oh my god.
Saved. Saved.
Trent, roll that death save.
Oh no.
You guys must survive.
No.
No, Trent!
Oh,
Oh,
Roll
Trench-
initiative.
Oh,
Jeez.
Both the
Jesus
younglings have
fucking
died.
Christ.
No.
They're both gone. 13.
Sorry, initiative.
What's your
Oh,
initiative?
Waste that
They're-
one on initiative.
They're Death Knight
Yeah.
Ink Monster.
It-
Oh no, he goes first.
good old halfling.
Oh. Looks like Zenkast is rolling first. Go for it.
What's your fail pass right now?
2 pass, no fail.
Oh, he's up.
Okay.
Oh, he's
You are stable.
stable.
2 swings on you, Sakul. I don't think you're getting this lucky this time.
Come on.
One is a 19. And
Let's
the
see.
is that doesn't hit?
It does not.
Okay. The other one definitely hits at a 29.
Did he just nat 20? Oh no.
No,
okay.
no.
No.
Oh
His
god.
modifier is just really stupid.
A 29 is yeah,
It's
that'll
got a
hit.
plus 11.
Oh my god. 4, 8, 10. You take 15 damage.
Reduced by 3 is 12. I'm at 1 HP. Oh, that's perfect. That heavy armor mastery.
It's your turn, Sakul.
Can't
Oh my
be
god, I
crit.
get
How
a
You
attack.
have one more swing.
I get an attack. Oh yeah, I can't be crit
Please.
either because of the armor.
Please.
Oh,
22 to hit.
Okay.
You hit him.
Come on, I only have 1d8, no smite. Please.
Oh!
Oh, okay, 12 damage. Come on, go down.
You strike the creature, and he falls to the ground.
no fucking way.
Holy shit.
Bullshit!
Your sword cleaves down and breaks through the upper plates of his armor, like going through the collarbone and the breastplate here, and the two halves sort of pull apart in a huge slough of ink, not just like these rivulets that have been going out, but like this torrent just pours to the ground. And it looks up at you for a moment, and it speaks something, though you can't understand it. And after that, just kind of like tumbles and then falls apart, and you watch as pieces of its armor gradually start to like fade away, and they just melt into ink into the ground, and you are no longer in combat.
Christ. Oh, fucking my.
Wow. Okay, so who's permanently dead right now? Who can I actually try? I can't save Merton. Zenkis is alive, stabilized.
Looking around you, I would say, given that you just popped out of another dimension, it looks like everybody's dead. You're gonna have to run up and check on them.
Alright, I'll go to the closest person first.
Make
checking
a
on
perception
Zenkis.
check.
I think they all stabilized during the battle, though, right? Or they're dead.
Yeah, there's no one that's in their saves right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you guys all out of your saves?
Yeah.
Yeah, these two are dead.
Yeah.
Zenkis is alive and Merton's alive, I think.
Running over there, you can tell that Zenkast still breathes. As for Trent and Tessa, it looks like they do not. And Merton is nowhere to be found.
Okay, well, I'm gonna assume Merton was like destroyed.
You see just like a splatter on the rock. You're like, that's probably what's left of him.
God damn it. Well,
Wait, I'm nowhere to be found because he didn't go over there, or because I'm nowhere to be found?
You're completely out of sight, right?
You're around the rock. That's why you can't see.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was like. Okay.
If you're gonna search the area, you'll probably find him.
Yeah, I'm gonna set like a camp. My assumption is that Merton is dead, so he's on his own until he finds me. He's setting up camp here. Roleplay what? I will start digging a grave, I guess, while setting up a place to rest for Zenkit, and even taking a breather myself. But eventually, I'll try to bury the other two, something like graves or something. Do you need the bodies to resurrect normally out of town?
Yeah, you would know that it's common to like keep the bodies if you think you can resurrect somebody.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll keep the bodies up here and just lay my tarp over them for now. I won't bury anyone.
Let's see here. Setting up camp. The time on Zencast is 3. And okay. After an hour of setting up camp there, Merton, you awake with 1 HP. You come back to the world. Your time here is apparently not done. The sound of water can easily be heard. And as you look around, you find yourself there in that pool of blood, like across the rock.
Sit up. Probably shocked.
The winds from before are gone. Zakul, those disappeared when you struck the creature down. Merton, as you come back, you hear the sound of a fire from nearby. And find Zakul in the corner.
You'll probably hear me doing like a silent prayer, like what I know to be a common prayer, I guess. To like 7 people. I stand up with like a hand on my hammer, ready to like attack another ink monster.
Probably like showing signs of exhaustion, leaned against the rock. You decided to leave me by the river?
You're alive, Paladin.
Somehow.
The worst.
I was right there, not 10 feet that way. What happened?
I think we've lost the 2 younger ones. Thankus appears to be alive. He's breathing just barely.
Trent and Testa?
Yes, but I've heard there's powerful magics that can resurrect the recently deceased. Perhaps we can get them to town quickly, but...
Where did it go?
Is that goop still here?
Yeah, maybe I would see it.
Behind you, there is a pile of goo. It is a bunch of ink that has, over the course of this hour, seeped into the ground, leaving behind what looks like random items in its pool.
What was that?
The young Trent called it an ink lord, some sort of magical summon. I do not know much more than that.
You said there's things it left?
You can see clearly there, tainted by the black and the blue, what looks to be objects that have been left in the pool that have not seeped into the ground. One looks like a circular, spherical kind of thing, another one some sort of squarish object.
I'm kind of fiddling through it while I'm talking. Should we really be staying here after
I'm in no
someone...
no condition to move, unfortunately. We need to get these bodies to the closest town. And...
Well, someone sent something after us.
Well, as risky as it is, it's more risky to try to move while Zenkis is unconscious. And, well, we have to carry both bodies. And, as you can see, in no state to fight.
Well, how far away was that monk, by the way? Did we walk very far afterwards?
Yeah, you traveled...
Okay, so that wouldn't be like a thing. We could just go right there.
Maybe like an hour or 2 away. So not a whole day, but you could trek over to him if you wanted.
Table talk. Will, both you and I have 1 HP right now. Just keep that in mind. We're like on the verge of death.
I understand. but not table talk. Do you really want to spend the whole night out here?
Well, maybe not, but it's what we might have to do if we can't leave.
Well,
Are we fit to travel, Lucian? Like, if we don't meet combat, will we be able to move these bodies?
You
in-
can
in
move
the
around
same
at 1
area?
HP. It's grueling and unpleasant, but you can do it.
Okay. Well, I heed to your advice.
sometimes you don't have a choice.
Are you leaving the bodies or dragging them
No.
behind
It
you?
was just a thought. We
Oh.
can.
I will secure the two corpses to the tarp that I used to try to kidnap Castle Morgan with.
Oh my
And
god.
kind of it's like dragging on top of them, right?
Yeah.
Like on top of the tarp, but I'm using it to drag. And then I'll hoist Zenkis over my shoulder.
Okay.
Well, let's get moving then.
I would rather get there while it's light and spend a night with a monk than out here in this condition where people know we are.
Okay. You guys go wandering off and traveling an hour, going uphill while
And-
all of your internal organs are crying out for help. You guys do eventually make it there. You leave a noticeable drag mark and trail with many times where you have to affix the bodies to the top of the tarp and avoid slipping on puddles of your own blood as you cough it up. But you do eventually get to this monk's little cave there, and when you show up at the side of the cave, you can see that he's just seated there, and he looks like he's cross-legged, staring towards the back wall of the cave.
Enlightened one. We need your aid.
He
I know you're in meditation. Forgive us. We need somewhere to stay.
He turns around, and seeing you like that, he gets up and he walks over towards you. And as he comes over, he says, "What has happened?"
An attack, an ambush. We don't know. But you were the only friend out here, so we came back.
Well, this holy space was not meant for this sort of refuge, but it'll have to do. You should come inside.
Thank you.
And I'll walk over and carry Zenkis in first. And is there like a bed or anything I can lay him on? Like a bedroll?
There is the bedroll that the guy has, if you want to lay his bloody body there.
Well, it's a halfling, right? Maybe. Yeah. Is there enough room for me to lay my bedroll down? I guess.
Sure.
Okay. I will open my bedroll and place Zenkis on top of it.
Okay. As you lay him down there, Zenkas, you wake up with 1 HP. You're in a strange cave. The monk is near, and Zakul and Merton seem to be moving around, though Trent and Tessa are not.
I took those artifacts or whatever, by the way. I'll start looking those over.
You can add to your inventory a twig. You can also add a metallic bar and a box of incense sticks, as well as the removed eye of some creature.
Okay.
Would those have been the ingredients that Jimmy was able to read?
Well, who knows?
Sounds along those lines, but
I have a few questions for you, by the way, after this session, Lucian.
Sure. I assume there will be questions.
So many questions.
As you lay down Zenkus there, you notice that his eyes flutter open.
You awaken halfway.
I'm not
Trent?
even talking. I'm just like talking in his head. I'm just like, "Where's Trent? Is he alive?"
Unfortunately, young Trent did not make it, but we may be able to save his soul. But we must rest now. Sleep. I'll discuss something with first.
Yeah, I need to talk to the monk.
Okay.
Forgive us for intruding on your cave. I know you're in meditation, and we don't know what exactly is after us. It may be dangerous. If you need us to leave, just give us a half hour, we'll be gone. If you wish us to stay, you have to know you may be in danger as well.
I do not fear death, adventurer. You're welcome to stay. Perhaps I can look out for this creature, or person, whoever is after you. I doubt I will get any meaningful meditation time now.
Do you have any healing poultices or salves that may be able to spare? The three of us took very severe injuries.
I'm sorry. I've brought items of prayer and the clothes on my back.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing your hospitality, or your shelter at least. Do you mind if I bring the bodies of my comrades inside?
Please.
I will bring in the other two corpses.
Okay.
Now, this is common knowledge that there are priests in town that, in like major cities, that can resurrect, right? It's
Yes.
not, like, okay. We'll have to try to get to Everwatch quickly before anything foul runs amok on these two.
Forgive us again for intruding on your meditation. We'll be out come the morning. Thank you for your kindness.
Your apologies are not needed. They will not bring me more meditation or less. If I would make a suggestion, the city of Ko is much closer than Everwatch is. If you're seeking help with your deceased friends, it may be preferable to expedite there.
Is it not over the mountain range? Would it be?
It is. And though
Maybe
I have
to-
walked through the valley as part of my pilgrimage, I do know that there are passes through the mountains.
We were unaware of such things, or we probably would have went that way.
I cannot say that I have walked them myself, but I have heard of them. If you are truly great adventurers, perhaps you can use them.
Oh, enlightened one. Would these be passable given our current condition and the weight that the burdens we must carry, climbing over a mountain to a city up there without a guide, unless you're willing to guide us? Maybe more than we're able to handle.
I will have to think on this. I would like a persuasion roll from you, please, to see if you can rope the monk into helping you. On a
Well, he also
15 or
said
higher, he will come with.
Okay, well, that's good enough for me, actually. I was gonna be like, does he know another guide, maybe, too? But that's just way too much work at this point. That is a 10. Oh, wait, no. Charisma or persuasion?
Persuasion.
We've
It's
already
not-
intruded so much, so cool. I don't think we should ask him of something.
Well, perhaps Ko is not reasonable for us unless we do find someone else.
Unfortunately, I don't know the passes myself. I think I would offer little help. Though the mountain is not without others, and perhaps you could find somebody else who would be able to help. My brothers are all along this valley, like stars you should find. They cluster together.
Do you have any method of communicating with your brothers through your fire signals?
Sadly,
Perhaps,
I don't.
Call for help? Let's see.
We are all self-sufficient. If something happens to one of us, well, it is not often, nobody makes the pilgrimage without having learned something already.
Well, let us not disturb him anymore, Zakul. Our path ahead will be grueling, but we know what we have to do.
Was this done to you by the one up by the dragon's mouth?
It's possible.
All of his own. I did not sense that he was so powerful.
We're unsure if he was even the culprit. I think we should refrain from jumping to such conclusions.
I just said it was possible.
Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need.
Oh, I appreciate the hospitality. And I lean back, resting my head against the wall. I guess I'll just pass out sitting up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same for you, Merton?
definitely.
Okay. And Zenkes?
I'm just laying down.
Okay. There is some time left. As you guys rest here, how long do you intend to rest for?
Well, I'll
Okay.
be okay after a night, as far as,
Okay, table talk. I know you get everything back as a short rest, Warlock. Are you okay with taking a long rest? Or, actually, Lucian, let me ask you this: is there a specific time limit on these bodies now that we have to get to the town quickly? So can we? not
Given that
miss
you're
the
a
long
paladin,
rest?
do you have religion
Religion?
proficiency?
I do.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Do either of you have salt?
We're gonna salt the bodies.
No,
think we
I
all-
see.
I think we all have a little salt after that.
19 religion.
19. Okay.
No, I have a spell, but I don't have salt.
You know that when it comes to bringing people back, there are two major time scales that most people have to be kept within. You either bring them back within like a day, or I think it's something like 10 days for the next one. So if you think that you can't get them there in a day, then your next threshold is 10. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And then
So-
past that point, it jumps up to like impossible resurrection. I think.
Oh, this has to be within 10 days anyway, because it was like 4 days to get back to here and then up last time.
Yeah.
So taking the long rest would at least give us a chance, right?
Yeah, after a long rest, you could maybe get these bodies and drag them to Everwatch in time.
Maybe. It'll be really close, because we might be slowed down, right?
Yeah, who knows what would happen on the road.
Well, what if we went to Co?
Well, the code thing is we have to randomly wander and hope we got a guide. We won't be able to get through the mountains.
Or it
otherwise.
seems like it's gonna not happen if we do Everwatch, but we have a chance at Co.
The Red Watchman's also very close.
Screw. Anyway,
Should we get the
like,
wizard?
what if we had no idea because Trent didn't give us any information? We're like, hey, that might have people in it.
The ghosts just possess their dead bodies?
The monk who
Oh.
knows the land suggested Co and said we would be able to do it.
Okay, so after we rested, then Paladin Merton brings us up.
Okay.
Well,
I would like
Right.
somebody to roll luck, please, as you guys lay here for the night.
He's fucking
One of the dead
murdered in
people
his
do it.
sleep.
Would Jimmy
Yeah.
or Kay care to roll luck?
I volunteer Jimmy.
He's not saying anything, but he's rolling.
Yeah.
doing it.
Dead men tell no tales.
That better be. Oh, I regret
uh.
this decision. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a 7.
You guys also die in your sleep.
7 is the luckiest number,
If
right?
we don't get like even a short rest, I'm screwed. I had nothing.
Nope, you guys finish a long rest.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, given that this is at the time that it is, you guys would wake up probably at like 3 or 4. You know, like the sun isn't even up yet. And there's a little fire that the monk is burning here near the entrance of the cave when you guys wake up, and he is simply seated by the fire and staring out across the valley. You guys all wake up with full HP, all your other stuff back. As far as Trent and Tessa, their bodies lay there in the spots that you left them.
Well, let's get ready for the long haul. Pick them up.
Yes. Okay. Can we do a little bit of weight management here? How much do these two weigh? If I were to drop some gear, would I be able to move unencumbered?
Tessa's like 120.
Okay. I remember Trent being super heavy for what he was.
He decided he wanted to be 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm
Because he was
6'4", so I
Didn't
weigh
you say you were like
180.
200 pounds?
6'4".
Yeah, he decided he wanted to be tall as fuck.
Why are you
for some reason.
300
Because he was
pounds?
being a frat boy wizard, okay?
185 pounds.
Real life Jimmy is 6'4".
That's if you
like
drop
that.
all
Oh.
my shit, and my shit is actually pretty heavy. I have 47 pounds of gear now.
You're probably moving at half speed, boys.
At the
Yeah.
very least, I'm gonna move at minus 10 speed.
We're definitely moving at half speed because I'm already like any more and I'm over the threshold, so
Well, I can carry 300 at minus 20 speed. And I have an extra 80 pounds to carry right now, including my armor.
me and Zenkus might be able to carry one between us. Because I think we're both pretty weak.
Drag, not
make a-
carry.
Can we make a makeshift like stretcher while I full on carry Trent, who's a little heavier, for
Sure.
Tessa? I'll use the tarp as like a stretcher then for these
That's
two
what we're
to
gonna have to do, yeah.
with Tessa.
The
I'm-
monk will help you as you spend the morning getting some little apparatus set up to carry the bodies.
I mean, you could take Tessa's rations off for her, I guess. She's dead, so she's not gonna eat them. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
Paladin Merton, you say Co is our best bet.
It's much closer.
If you do not feel comfortable traveling the passes alone, I may have brothers near. You need just only walk along the mountainside. You might find other lights. It's still dark out.
That's the hope.
That is the hope, sir. Thank you once again for housing us.
It is no trouble.
I hope the rest of your meditation is peaceful.
What do they call you, sir? Like, would your brother recognize you by name?
He tells you. That he is known as Brother Jove.
Brother Jove.
Would he know what day it is?
Who knows?
You can ask him.
I stand up because I still kind of just been laying around and asked him if he knows like what day it is.
He tells you.
Because we time skipped before we had that thing happen, right?
Yep. He tells you it is the 74th of summer.
So between the two of you guys, can you carry 60 pounds?
Not at full speed, but
Okay. I mean, I'm moving at half speed anyway.
yeah,
carrying-
we'd be fine with half speed.
Okay. Shuffling
At
off.
least for me.
You guys depart in the night, and I would like luck rolls to see whether or not you guys find any more monks on your way up the mountain.
Wait, all three of us or just one?
You guys want me to roll it again?
I want
No.
Kay to roll it. Okay.
I'm gonna roll. I'm
The
gonna.
other- the-
Okay, make a luck roll.
Literally for your own lives, right?
Pretty
Find that level 20 month.
Told you I was good at these.
Heading up along the way, you guys occasionally look over shoulders, seeing the other mountains nearby and all their lights, and wonder if you'll run into one. And as you go in a sort of vertical upwards and towards the right, you eventually move past some rocks and see there, in a very, very precarious spot with jagged rocks all around it that must be climbed to, you see there is a cave there, and it has a light burning at it. And there appears to be somebody seated behind the fire. The only way that you guys are going to get there is by abandoning these bodies and climbing like about maybe 80 feet up.
Can you two wait for me here? I can make this climb.
Do you, are you the talker? Think you'll be able to,
Well, our companions' lives rest upon it. I will try my best.
Alright.
Table talk. I assume you guys don't have as high of an athletics roll for doing like a sheer free climb here.
And athletics rolls you shall have to make.
Unless you guys want to try it, I'm not going to stop you as players.
No, I have a perfect 0
As long
modifier.
as you don't roll a bad persuasion again.
Okay, I start scaling the wall by myself then.
Athletics
Leaving
check,
the-
please.
For +7, let's go. 25.
Ugh. In plate armor, it is slow going. But you do eventually get up towards the top. And when you do, you see that there is a man cross-legged there, seated in the like lotus position with his fingers and index, or index to thumb rather, resting on his knees. And the fire in front seems to kind of like go back and forth and waves as you approach, and his eyes open and he looks at you, and for a brief moment you think you almost see like light there instead of just a man's eyes. And as he looks over at you, you're reminded of the one that you had seen before, similar clothes and all of that, though this man is jacked. And
I apologize, Enlightened One, but I'm sorry to disturb your meditation. But we had an emergency and we require you already. Brother Jove tells me that you would be able to help us get to Ko. I have 2 companions down there that will perish if we do not make it in time. I implore you, please aid us. And I will actually take a knee and bow my head.
you're a godly man.
Yes, I am a follower of Azul.
With a single blow, the fire goes out, and this little bonfire in front of him just ceases. And he gets up and says, I shall grab my things.
Thank you, Enlightened One. I will meet you at the base where my companions wait.
So be it.
I'll start scaling back down slowly as possible, carefully.
Okay. You eventually get down towards the ground there. The descent is a little bit easier now that you know where the handholds are. The man who joins you, though, comes back. He has a small little sack over his back there. It's like a little sash that goes across his chest. And when he goes down, maybe it's because he's not got armor, or maybe it's something else, but he easily scales the wall. And in the series of like 3 hops, just like grabs a hold of one side, lets go, grabs a hold of another, jumps off, and he's next to you.
Well done. That was very impressive.
He looks over at the deceased that you have there and turns back, and he says,
Good morning.
Who are you all?
But,
My name is Merton. We
He
had
gives
a
you a
run-in.
nod.
This is Zenkas, and I believe you've met Zakul. These are our friends, Tessa and Trent. We had an ambush, a run-in with a mysterious force. We were all almost killed. These two were.
He leans down and inspects the bodies. Do you guys stop him?
No.
No.
He looks back at you all. Well, there's still time.
We heard there are passages through the mountains to Ko by one of your brothers. We were hoping you could show us the way for their lives. The quicker we get there, the better.
I think we shall move now then.
Thank you.
The pass through which we'll be moving is a treacherous place. I have made its passage multiple times, but if you step out of line, our chances of getting to Ko safely will dwindle. You will have to do everything that I say. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. My pilgrimage here comes to an end. Let us go back then.
We are
With
right
that,
behind you.
he turns and starts to wander off. The area here is treacherous, and you guys move somewhat slow, and he seems to pathfind through them remarkably easy, despite being barefooted. The rocks are as simple to him to navigate as a flat plane of grass, while you guys kind of, have your feet slip and tumble on occasion. He leads you further up and towards the mountains there, and you guys watch as your ascent starts to take you between two peaks as you near them, almost like massive pillars of a gate. And as you do so, a great wind comes blowing in through the area, and all the trees seem to suddenly sway to its tune and then switch to another direction as they pull south. And you watch as your guide turns and he looks off into the distance and then has a moment of recognition before he turns back and continues leading you up through the area. And we will end the session there.
We found the most jacked monk on the mountainside.
Well, it wasn't at 20.
That was all okay. Well done.
Thank you. I got you.
We
guys.
rolled poorly
I
so
sent
many
you a
times this
pearly
session.
man.
This session, oh my god.
The will of Monday attempted to take us again.
She's like, I sent
Not
you
this time.
I sent you a 9. That was the best I could do.
So listen, I do have a question. When we gave it metal, when Jimmy said metal offering, did we make it stronger?
Yes, you did. You buffed him.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify on that. I was like,
Buffed.
this thing is so strong.
What
gave
a little
him an
bitch for being buffed.
I gave him an additional 40 HP for the stuff you tossed him.
Damn you.
And
Why
we
didn't
lost those
my
items,
first
too.
attack hit?
Oh yeah, why did the 23 hit him?
Oh, here, I'll answer your questions.
Yeah.
First, we'll intro out here. Guys, well done. You've kind of made it, maybe. Some of you may be resurrected in the sessions to come. Some of you, maybe this is it. You'll just have to tune in next time to find out. To the players, that was quite the challenge, and you have not TPK'd. For that, I congratulate you. To the audience,
We
thanks for
did it
tuning in.
Monday.
It is
We
Monday.
did
Monday.
They did Monday.
Aw.
Monday did not Monday.
We're fine.
And until the bill shows up, they still have money.
Lucian, when you said 15 damage, I was like,
That was hilarious. I don't know if you were watching the rolls, but it was like I rolled 3 d8s and 2 d6s, and then +5, and that came out to like 15 damage or something. I was like flabbergasted because
You threw me through such a loop because I was like, first attack, I'm like, oh, I rolled a 17. All right, going good. And I was like, getting ready to throw some damage dice. You're like, doesn't hit. I'm like, what? And then I just went into flight mode right there. I was like,
Did he have a parry reaction or something?
that's what I was assuming.
So, to all the audience, good to have you. Patrons, couldn't do without you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
More D&D tomorrow.
Take care,
Adios.
Philip.
We almost died.
Oh man, that was
Only-
so good. Thank
Only
you so
everyone's
much for that
session this
session.
week is that exciting.
That
Big
was
place
so
of the week.
good.
It was great.
Oh,
Just-
like, oh, that was so good. The killing blow made it. Thank you for killing him.
Oh, that definitely could have been a wipe so easily.
I know.
Because I
Well-
had 13 health, he's like 15 damage. I'm like, I'm alive.
The epic
Minus
That
thing.
was so exciting.
The epic thing would have been if he failed his con save, so that you popped back into existence when Zenkas stabbed him, but he rolled like really well for it. That would have been the OG maneuver right there.
I don't think we win that fight if you didn't give me the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
that's it.
Zencast doesn't pop up and hit him, which means that hit from Sakul doesn't kill him.
That's true. Then
Maybe,
we would
yeah.
have just died there.
The rolls might have been dramatically different. I just saw that where it was like 8 rolling to a 20, and I was like, you know what, given the circumstance, just fucking take the 20.
It's funny because Alusha, when I grabbed that die, I in my head I thought of that moment when we were gonna TPK in the Barbarian campaign. I was like, this is the time I need to roll the 20, and I threw the die out, and it stopped falling on the 20, and I was like, huh,
Anybody else have a tabletop patch today?
Everybody look away while I grab this die and release it really quickly.
Anyway, I'm gonna kill stream. Thanks for coming by, guys. Peace.